Thomas starting the first bounce along with Pendlebury and Beams.
Umpire gets it underway. Magnificent straight up and down bounce. Jolly doing the ruck work. Mumford will be his direct opponent for the night. Jack with the first clearance. Opportunity for the Pies seedsman. Thomas wide, waiting for the bounce of the ball there, and in the end Matner was able to slide through. Bird now over to McVeigh, linking play, ran out of tarmac. Kennedy, O'Keefe, 40, closing, got it to the goal square, couldn't quite get it. Mike Pike off hands. Jeddah, or Dennis Lane it was in fact, and now Jeddah. Eventually Collingwood with a pretty ugly looking kick from their skipper out to Beams, and he'll be happy to find the boundary line with the help of Shaw.
How about the intensity of that first 46 seconds? That was as hard and tough as you'll ever see an opening to a game. And getting an eye on Josh Kennedy, who's the #1 clearance player in the game. There he is on screen there. He's already had 2 slick handballs and clearances in this tight style of game.
Speak about slick, there's Pendlebury, not so slick, he normally is. Maxwell again under pressure, wasn't balanced. Tuvey, Jolly just tapping it friendly style to Maxwell, but he couldn't make it work either. Look at the players around the ball here at the moment. This is all inside the Swans attacking 50. Marty Clark back into the side.
Yeah, this is the real strength of this Sydney football team. Once they get it inside 50, they force more turnovers and score better than any other team, and it's a good example. They've locked it in here.
On their past 6 clashes here, Collingwood at this stadium won the past 10 against Sydney. They love playing them. I don't know what that is about, Richo or Das, but they just get it done against them.
You just have teams that sometimes you have the wood over, and this is certainly one of them for the Pies. Gone with the 3-tall structure. They've got Cloak, Dawes and Chris Tarrant down there. Teddy Richards has got Chris Tarrant. He is the deepest at the moment, Taz.
That rain has ceased as well, and it hadn't rained at all before the game for some hours. Pike deep again, Roberts Thompson in front, dropped the chest mark, Jack crashing through. Didn't he come through with some momentum? Beams did well to get it to the boundary. And no out-of-bounds deliberate here tonight, Das.
Yeah, I think they've adjusted from some, let's be honest, ridiculous decisions that were played on Friday night, and the status quo seems to have got back to what it should be.
Indeed it has. Jolly, Mike Pike there, and Bird on the end of it. Little left foot kick around the corner. Just a little too much hook on it.
Yeah, interesting. When it was locked in, the Swans forward line there, Marty Matner was a loose player. He let his opponent side bottom go up inside the defensive 50, and he just hung back. So it was going to be pretty hard for the Pies to get through.
Shaw had to go the bailout ball to Seedsman there in the pocket. That's the kick they don't want to go to, but it's there if they needed an emergency. Now Beams. So at the moment, Collingwood have been locked inside their defensive half of the ground. Haven't been past the middle. Already played just over 3 minutes in the game. Off hands, let it go Johnson. Picked up in the end by Wellingham. Fired the handball out wide. Seedsman with a low ball, searching kick. Cloak, magnificent pick up off the laces. It was really well done. Around the body, looking for Tarrant deep, and in the end, Jeddah.
Gee, that was a crucial mark by Jeddah. He had to get back and help out his defence there on a bigger opponent in Tarrant. Did well.
Yeah, Cloak did well there to hold up as well. Wellingham in and underneath and hovering over the top. Nick Smith there, and also Grundy.
Which I mentioned, the 3 tools, Tarrant, Dawes and Cloak operating inside 50. The Swans are magnificent and always getting Marty Matner as their first priority back, loose man up, and I think they feel that with those 3 tools they're going to keep their defenders more honest than perhaps other sides have had to deal with.
Well, their best years, Collingwood, they've had 3 tools. Of course, Lee Brown was there, and I think that's why they want McCapper back and playing. Here is Roberts Thompson to give them another option from 50 metres out. Strokes it purely. Magnificent kick from Roberts Thompson.
Oh, what a great goal by LRT. Don't often see him running through 50 and kicking long goals, but he had no one between him and the goal face. He had to have a crack at the goals, and he did it really well. He steadied himself and put it through. They've had a real dominance early in this game. The Sydney Swans had it locked inside their forward half for most of the play.
17th goal for the year for Lewis Roberts-Thompson. That just sums up why they're going so well. You had a handball to Goods on the outside. If you go for the goal and you burn Goodsy, you want to make sure you kick it. And fortunately for LRT, he slotted it home.
He did indeed.
He doesn't get burnt very often, Goodsy, does he?
No, he doesn't. Sydney with the clearance. The wee man McGlynn getting it forward. Bird with the head over the ball, couldn't win it. Now Reid had to do likewise. Pendlebury, remember, he's a left footer. Gee, did that well. Time and poise and grace, and Tarrant on the lead at centre half back.
They're really
to Dawes.
This is good. They're really trying to separate these tall defenders for Sydney, and Tarrant's pushed up, Dawes is pushed up. Now they go to Cloak,
and you can see Mattner drop off his man, exactly as I said, to help Grundy.
It was just a poor kick though by Dawes, because if they had have gone back in board on the first option, they actually had Cloak in a one-on-one with Grundy, and Cloak will be too powerful for him. Just got to think it through a bit better. If you see a chance to get one of the big boys on their own, you've got to pull the trigger straight away.
Mike Pike and the flat hands on that occasion. McGlynn through traffic, took a bounce, just a little slippery with that shower of rain just as this game was about to start, but it won't pose any further problems, I wouldn't think.
They've had two long high entries, the Collingwood Football Club, but they haven't got them in deep enough. They've been about 45 metres out, and the Swans will chop that off every single time, and they have both times they've gone in.
This battle will be crucial. Jolly and Mumford. Pendlebury kept it alive, and another boundary throw.
Yeah, looking forward to that one, BT. Mumford and Jolly, who played a great game last week against St Kilda, go head-to-head. You saw Jolly's follow-up work there, set up that clearance, but Mumford, when he's on song, he is the best big man at that part of the game in the competition.
See the little hand from Pendlebury there, pointing where he wanted it, and went exactly there as well. It was very intelligent, not to Pendlebury, but he was saying get it to someone else. Good mark, Tarrant. Handball off. Here's Fasolo. Fasolo's kick into Dawes. He's very capable of making the distance from here, and he should go back and take the set shot.
The key to that was Chris Tarrant took the contested mark, but he didn't go back and kick the ball. He got the handball receive off, and that allowed Dawes, and Cloak was out as well, deeper. So
much wind down there, Lingy.
There's a bit of wind here, BT. Yeah, I think this it'll affect the quick kick quite dramatically. It's quite blustery.
Dawes kicks, and there is the wind just taking it to the right-hand side.
Yeah, but as we were saying, that was the key. If you're going to get your key forwards isolated one out, you must get handball receives around centre-half forward and get the ball moving quicker, and that was great by Chris Tarrant.
Ball back into Melcheski. Shaw into Roberts-Thompson, did well to get it. Thomas let the tackle slip. Roberts-Thompson took him on. Harry O'Brien wraps him up, and we will have a ball up here. You can see Pendlebury signalling now. Didak is an interesting one, Das. They've got 3 games left in the VFL. They didn't play him today, and they're not going to play any part in the finals, Collingwood's VFL side. They had to get him back in today. But and why not play him?
He has to get game time, and he has to get it in the big stage. Let's get down to Lingy. It's an interesting move, isn't it, Didak on the bench?
Well, speaking of the out of bounds on the deliberate out of bounds, the umpires continuing their form of last night. But Alan Didak, yeah, he's an interesting one. I think he could be the key come September. He's got an experienced head. We know how good his skills are. We know how much of a game breaker he is. Love to see him out there.
Last played in round 11, Alan Didak. There's McGlynn, but they really had to get him back in the side today to get a feel of the intensity at the top level and not have him playing too much VFL where the intensity is miles off this. Good move. Here's Fasolo, half-back. Kick around the ball. Dawes did well to get rid of Richards. They don't argue. Gave him a bit of time. Seedsman on the overlap. Good tackle, Shaw.
This is a great pressure side, Sydney. They just close your space down. Now there's the deliberate play against Shaw. Now I haven't got a big issue with that one because there wasn't anyone in the vicinity. It was no other intention, and he's gone across. That was the one that, to me, was in the rule book before the start of the year. The ones we saw on Friday night, hard to explain.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, Das. Tarrant, lunging effort, shines the ball.
Well, they've got an early problem here. Johnston's conceding marks to Tarrant. Tarrant's had 3 marks already. couple of them contested, and he just looks a little bit too big in the body at the moment for young Johnson.
Chris Tarrant directly in front, only a 30-metre kick, an opportunity for the Pies. First goal, squandered one a moment ago with Dawes. It went right, and so did that one.
Hey, Lingy, any midfield matchups you should know about down there early that you can notice?
Yeah, Richie, I've noticed one which goes to show the respect in which the Sydney team holds Dane Beams. They've sent Ryan O'Keefe to him. Ryan O'Keefe's a brilliant runner, one of the best aerobic runners at the Swans. Dane Beams obviously a strength in his game. O'Keefe trying to quell the influence that Beams has been able to have lately.
Kennedy, low for Solo. Pressuring. Kennedy did really well. Fast hands, Bird. Well done, magnificent O'Keefe. How good was the in-close handball there, the release?
And they are brilliant at that, Bristol, that contested style of play. Josh Kennedy's the best clearance player in the game. Kieran Jack, his mate alongside, and they got it out. And the Collingwood defenders were all at sea there. Their whole structure wasn't in place, and you saw it. Little quick handball out.
O'Keefe off a couple of steps, and he too misses. So pretty windy old night. It's been a very windy couple of days up here in Sydney.
Yeah, it has, BT. I think it's inside their head already a little bit, the wind out there. Players, I reckon they're tentative on their shots at goal early, and can play with your mind when you're coming in to have shots at goal when it's very windy.
Unusual, relaxed sort of look about Shaw when he kicks the ball in, isn't there? It's almost a schoolyard kick. He plays that way. Reid tried to kick it low and hard, and in the end Seedsman got clipped. Wellingham now. Goods will close him down. He's got side bottom over the top with a great run. Fasolo says keep going. Ball goes inside 50. Elliott the target. Mopped up by Melcheski. Ultra important run off halfback he'll be. And Sydney close it down.
Spoke about Still side bottom and how good a player he has been this year, and particularly with the added responsibility of Luke Ball going out. It's on the back of his gut run there. That was a 150-metre effort through the middle of the ground, and Jared McVeigh's no slouch. He just couldn't keep up with him.
Outstanding effort. Blair went and got it. The boy from Wonthaggi.
Adam Goods hasn't had a sniff of the footy yet. He's at the match-up of Harry O'Brien, and just hasn't been able to get his hand on it yet, Goodsy.
Had quite an absence, Goods, and still getting his way back into full form. Blair over the top. Couldn't find Beams. Smith around the corner. And this oval certainly in very good nick here tonight. Normally it's not so good.
They had some real issues here, BT, in the past with the surface. I believe that they have addressed it, got it into shape. This is the perfect start to a game for Sydney for me. Only one goal scored. We've already approaching the halfway mark of the first quarter. This is what they want. They don't want a shootout. They don't want a high scoring. Plenty of tackles, plenty of contests, playing right into Sydney's hands.
Massive players around the ball. Somehow they come out with the ball, but to no avail in the end. So crowd here at the moment still building up. I reckon probably around about 50,000.
Pretty good, isn't it?
In the house. You can see the lower terraces are pretty full there. So good sign. Wintry day up here. Thomas from the stoppage. Collingwood get there first.
Just a goal out of nothing there. Dale Thomas, and that's what the good players can do. Forward line stoppage goals. Dale Thomas has done that many a time, and that's why you have your class players around the ball in that situation, and put that through beautifully.
He hit it with speed, didn't he, Dale Thomas? And it's the right part of the ground to have a crack at it.
Let's have a look at the replay here. Darren Jolly, flicked it out the back.
Beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, classical bit of ruck work. Daisy knew where it was going. You still have to be able to take it on the run at good pace and finish off, and he did it well, and he gets the clearance there, BT.
No, he likes it here, Daisy. I think he kicked 4 here in one game that I remember back a couple of years ago. Das, I want to ask you about the ruck combination for Sydney here. Of course, the big man Mike Pike and Mumford.
Seriously improved Mike Pike, and it's been fantastic to see. You know, what a story. Canadian that, to be honest with you, a few years ago I thought that he was no chance. Mumford I rate really highly. The big problem I reckon for Collingwood is that the next option after Jolly is Dawes, and he doesn't want to be there at all in the ruck.
goes into Wellingham, who dropped a bit of a sitter in the end and then fluffed the handball. Now
tough kick, though.
Goes in long, looking for Cloak and finds him. Cloak in the goal square will kick a certain goal.
Well, you boys have already touched on this, but when Collingwood can get it to one-on-one situations, Tarrant and Cloak and these guys are going to dominate in the air. It's when Sydney can help, that's when they find it hard.
In comes Cloak directly in front. He kicks the second goal here for Collingwood. Cloak 10 metres out. Consecutive goals, and that rain comes down again here at ANZ Stadium.
Yeah, 6 marks already for the 3 tall forwards, and they're isolating. They're not getting too close to each other, and when you do that, it spreads that Sydney Swans defence. They can't get the third man ends, and it's working pretty effectively early in this game. Darren Jolly just coming back onto the ground, going straight to full forward. Dawson to the ruck.
There's the big mummy. So 2 consecutive goals here to the Pies. They lead it by a goal.
Darren Jolly just wandered onto the ground. BT went straight to full forward. Chris Dawson in the ruck.
Okay. O'Keefe around the corner. Maxwell with a lunging attempt at mark, successful. All got a bit of elevation in it, made it difficult for Dawes, and a nice grab in the end from Alex Johnson. Very patient side, Sydney. Sheeting rain here at the moment. O'Brien, third man up. Jetta trying to close it down. Dawes just kept it rolling forward. Wellingham, handball out wide, did well. Seedsman, Blair, and now Shaw, all the way down from the full back line. Sends it inside 50. Tarrant looking over the top, no good. In the air again was Johnson, and free kick will go the way here of Seedsman, I think.
Never took possession.
A really good 5 minutes here, Collingwood. They've been able to get some isolation inside 50 and some clear run and some space, because we mentioned earlier how good defensively Sydney are. They just don't give you that room, but they've been able to burst free, and that's what has made this side a premiership winner in 2010 and one of the best teams in the comp. They run and spread so well.
Got the comb over hair going there as he comes in for just his second goal for the year, Seedsman. He's given it a chance. A nice little left to righter.
Yeah, great run it was. Again, they turned it over at half-back with Maxwell. That's what he loves doing better than just about anyone in the game, is finding that space at centre half-back and creating the run and the setup. They ran them off their legs. They got through the halfway part of the ground. As this rain comes down with a heap more intensity on it, and I've got a feeling that's going to favour the Magpies.
So a blast of rain comes over us. I hope you're okay down there, Lingy. You're not getting wet, are you?
No, it's not too bad. It looks a lot worse than what it is, BT. It's rain, but it's quite heavy wind still, so it's blowing it out of the way. I think the wind's going to play the bigger factor in the game.
The Pies' last 3 inside 50s has netted them 3 goals here.
Positive man, Lingy, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Nothing's a problem with Lingy. It's pouring rain and it's bucketing down, but can hardly feel it. Says the former Cats tough man.
It is pouring down, Lingy.
The reigning premiership captain. I don't know what you're looking at, Lingy, but we're seeing rain.
We'll wear him down over time.
Here's McGlynn in his 100th game.
Let's not forget, boys, I didn't mind the wet weather. Slowed everyone down to my level.
Have a look at him. He loves it.
Well, that red jacket's going very nicely with the top end there for Lingy. Kennedy.
We got a tweet through from Big Dip, and he's saying this is how a tall forward line should work. I agree with him. They're separated, the 3 talls, and they're keeping the Sydney defenders in one-on-one situations.
There's
The defenders hate that. There's your man.
Well, I want to see him take a mark or have a handball or give us a kick or something.
Do you think you should apologise to Mike Pike? I remember you calling him the worst player in the history of the game. Well, he's actually one of the great stories, so it'd be a good night for you to put your hand up, I would have thought.
I'm going to have a really good look at him tonight. If he gets a kick or a handball, I might have a look at it, Dust, but so far we'll just ponder that. But he has been okay. Sure. More just about the taps with him, isn't it? Very athletic. McVeigh tidying up. Missed the handball. The backup was there, but they've been pushed backwards now. Smith. And his kick was no good.
great response from Collingwood. They really have turned this around, and they're putting enough pressure. There's a good one-on-one again. They're getting isolation, Richo.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Das. You just see Dawes there, one out with Teddy Richards. It's what you want as a key forward.
Knocked away from Seedsman. Harry O'Brien was front and centre. Very interesting indeed as kick goes inboard. Opportunity for Cloak there. He fumbled, went and got it for Solo. Round the corner, the Pies come in there looking for an opportunity with Thomas. He skied one high. Here comes Jolly about 4 deep. Everyone went, no one down at all. Picked up by Seedsman around the body, out of bounds on the full.
Another good bit of... Dale Thomas gathered that ball in the pocket there, but he's matched up on Lewis Jetta at the moment. He took him to full forward and made him defend. I'm pretty sure Jetta wouldn't be that comfortable down there.
Beards are in at the moment as Reece Shaw is sporting a nice bit of growth on the chin.
Adam Good still yet to touch the footy in this first quarter. He's played almost 100% of game time. Have a look at the...
It's quite a mature looking thing, isn't it?
A bit going on there.
And something out of the gold rush in the 1850s or something, I reckon.
Bit of a rough look for Goodsy as well, so you know, my moustache might come back into fashion at some stage if beards are back in.
Don't play there. Leave it, Sharon.
Brett Rosebery, the umpire here.
Leave it.
See Hanbury pointing instructions. Thomas, Mike Pike got him high with the first arm.
Still 1 outs ahead of Daisy here if he gets it in quickly.
Gee, I reckon he's got a corky out of that Thomas. He went in low and hard for Elliott, couldn't find him. Kennedy did well. Sharpish handball, comes to Pike around the corner with a kick down the line, straight to the Pies, side bottom, and now Reid. Right near the interchange gates there, as you can see. High ball on the head of Dawes, it's cleared the pack, and Smith at the back under some enormous pressure. Did well to get it 40 metres away from goal. And you can see Thomas with that knock there. He's in some discomfort.
Yeah, out of bounds on the full BT, so it's Pendlebury who's going to just pop this back inside.
Gee, the wind got a hold of that. Didn't you see that?
Let's go down to Dr. Peter Larkin. So we saw Daisy get that knock. Doc, what are they working on?
Oh, they just had a quick chat with him, Brian. He's up stretching at the moment, standing in the interchange, having a walk, but definitely the right side. He took that big knock.
Yeah, it looked like a corky, didn't it?
This will be 8 inside 50s in a row for the Pies.
Gee, goes high, Cloak pushing, and beautiful mark being taken away from Richards because Heath Grundy got a push. And Teddy's annoyed about that as well.
Spewing.
Because that was a mark of the night contender.
Exactly. Pay the mark to Richards and let him...
Oh, he's filthy, Teddy.
Tell you what, are they a good combination? Heath Grundy and Ted Richards. They might just about be the best defensive combination in the game at the moment, which is a staggering thing to say. But as you said at the moment, Richo, they have got a heap of work on their hands because the Pies have just dominated the last 8 minutes of this quarter. It's been all their way, 8 inside 50s.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Collingwood press of sort of 18 months ago. They've just got a real dominance at the moment. Another clearance here.
Beams got that clearance. Sent it down. Elliott couldn't control it in the air for Solo, and working him over is Grundy. Handball flicked back into Dawes. Matner was there. Too well to get the boundary throw in here, and they're happy. Kieran Jack's certainly happy with that.
It's just on the back of their big guys getting involved early up forward.
Here's a Thomas tackle, and big Mike Pike just poleaxes him fairly into the ground.
What do you reckon, Doc?
Yeah, definitely a right cork. He's just stretching and massaging himself on the bench here, trying to get up, Daisy. He'll be right.
Okay, so should be okay. Dennis Lane comes through, and he was looking for the free as he made a genuine attempt. The umpire said yes, and
Thank you.
Thomas making an attempt to get back out there as well.
Good point you make, Richo, about the forward 50 ability to keep the footy. 18 months ago, Collingwood had set a new trend in that part of the game, but they've just dropped off, it feels, in the second half of this year. And they're getting scored a lot more easily out of their defensive 50. And I'm sure, out of their forward 50, I should say, I'm sure it's been a big focus tonight. So far, they really have got it going beautifully.
Well, they've done their homework. Sydney's transition from half-back's been outstanding this year, but they've stopped it early. So they've certainly been looking at that during the week, the Pies.
To half forward. This time punched away by Grundy. Went low. Richards could have almost got a free for that, and Grundy again missed contact with the ball there and out of bounds on the full. I think it bounced off Tarrant there, off his...
Hold there, Taz, hold there.
Below his knees anyway.
It wasn't the best delivery again, but at least it was cloaking a one-on-one situation, an opportunity without someone coming third man in, constantly coming over the top.
Sydney past 9 inside 50s, which equates to 66% of disposals. Richo?
Yeah, the Swans have switched this, but Collingwood have been able to lock them back in here. They were normally with a switch like that, you try and get a free man on the other side. They might be away here though now.
Well, Malcheski's the one with the power boot that can do it. It can carry and it can work the angles that it did then. Here comes Kennedy. Did he get a nudge under the ball? No, said the umpire. Let's go down to Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Dave Francis, the physio, has been doing some massage work on Daisy there. You can just see that right quad, Brian, just trying to get it loosened up so he doesn't get too tight.
They'll get him going tonight, but he's got a long week ahead, Daisy, with the ice baths and massage. Nothing worse than a corky. Just really ruins your week, it does. Got to get up and ice them in the middle of the night, BT.
Yes, well, that's what professionals get paid to do, I guess, Richo.
Yeah, it gets tough, though, in the middle of winter.
Oh, well, you know, just put the money in the pocket and don't bother anymore, according to Richo.
Richo, the worst part about getting a corky is whenever anyone asks you what's wrong and you say it's a corky, they think you're soft.
Yeah, exactly. They hurt, Lingy. You would have had a heap of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Daisy trying to shake it out. Jolly. Pike couldn't go with him in the ruck on that occasion. Picked up by O'Keefe. A dangerous ball to the top of the square. Going back, Reid, not paid the mark, fair enough. Didn't have enough of it, gives them a chance. Dennis Lane ran into the side bottom tackle.
Ben Reid is the man who has the role at Adam Goods at the moment, and he is all over him. Goods hasn't touched the footy, and Ben Reid is getting himself in the right positions. He's getting hold of the ball himself. He's had 5 disposals.
That's a throw out the back door from Beams. He certainly didn't handball or kick it. Advantage paid here, so Collingwood get away with one, but Grundy on the end of this one. Sits it up high. Goods at the back of the pack looking to get a run at the ball, and Collingwood smash it.
You called Dane Beams there, BT. He's had another outstanding quarter of football. 11 touches, 4 clearances.
Bucks getting the stats as he heads down to ground level. There, Richo.
Well, he'll be happy with Dane Beams' numbers. He's continues to flourish.
Threw a couple of jelly babies in the mouth as he headed down, ready to address the team in about 2 minutes' time. Malcheski, O'Keefe arriving, tries to shrug off the Doors tackle.
No, he's allowed to protect himself when he's taken one step.
Yep, you know, the umpire explaining you are allowed to protect yourself. We spoke about it being low scoring and Sydney getting a good start, but I think structurally what Nathan Buckley and the Pies have thrown up tonight with the 3 tall forwards has been a big win for the Magpies in the first quarter. It's created a few issues. They've got Mattner back as a loose man now, but we've seen lots of one-on-ones for their big forwards, and they'll be very dangerous if they can keep that going.
Down, Dennis Lane looking to get on the move there and couldn't make it work. Let's get down to Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Alex Fazolo also off on the Collingwood bench. So Brian with a big ice pack on the outside of his left knee from a knock he's just got a minute or two ago.
But with Mattner back, it's allowing Collingwood to have an extra player around the stoppage here at the moment.
Look at that. Thomas doesn't look good, boys. I reckon you'll find that he'll be subbed out very, very shortly if he can't get that moving before quarter time. He does not look good. Touch ball here, so Malcheski will be asked to keep moving the ball around the corner. Maxwell beats Kennedy to the ball.
Well, if that's the case, that is a big, big factor in the game because he's actually started beautifully. He's kicked that goal. You know, we've spoken about Dane Swan not there for 2 weeks. Luke Ball have been out of cover, but there's only so much depth you can have, and Thomas adds that run, carry, that break of the lines. If he's subbed out, wow, it's a big moment in this game.
12 minutes now since any score. I agree with you, Das. 12 minutes since any score in this game.
Well, they'll obviously wait till quarter time, and they'll have 5 minutes to assess it and see if they can get it moving, but gee, looks to be really struggling with it.
From the past 11 games, only St Kilda in round 17 have led the Swans at quarter time. At the moment, Collingwood lead by 12 points. Touched off hands again, so Maxwell has to get it and kick it straight away. So some real injury concerns at the moment mounting up for the Pies, and Mumford a little clumsy there on Blair. Under a minute in the quarter. Look, a chance to reassess here, but medically I feel they're in just a little bit of trouble at the moment, the Pies. Tarrant now at half-back. Umpire says go again, not the required journey. Trying to bust through, and he's been caught there.
Brilliant tackle from Reece Shaw. Great technique. Stopped him in his momentum and then was able to, in the one motion, come up with the footy.
Elliott was the one there. Here's Mumford, did well. Gives it off to the left-footed Malcheski. I don't reckon they knew that, and he finds Goods.
That was outstanding play from the Swans. Mumford, as Daisy coming off the ground.
Does not look good, Richo.
No, he's in a lot of trouble. Mumford had a mismatch on Seedsman on 50. Now, normally he wouldn't kick to the 50-metre line like that with a short pass, but it allowed Mumford to take the mark, and he gets it to Goods.
His first touch of the quarter coming after the quarter-time siren. From 40 metres out on a tough angle, it's to the near side. And a minor score will be the result there. So it is all happening here at ANZ Stadium. Injuries galore for Collingwood. What have the Swans got? We're going to find out on the other side of the break. Collingwood by 11 points here at the moment. 3-2-20. Sydney 139.
There wasn't any good ball coming his way, and it wasn't good delivery, but they've moved him into the middle at the start of this quarter.
Nathan Buckley there at the end, spending a lot of time with Heath Shaw, who's on the interchange bench, has only just, in fact, he'll be making his way up to the coach's box now. He really had 3 or 4 minutes. Quite, here he is, getting in back into the coach's box, but really spending some time with Heath Shaw.
What do you think that might have been about if you were a guessing man? Is it something to do with
structurally, absolutely. I think it'd be the way that he asked him to play, whether or not he was getting the right spots. You know, he's so attacking with his run, Heath Shaw. I think he probably was going outside of the instructions that he had before the start of the game.
So we'll certainly monitor Dale Thomas. In the meantime, this game goes on, and Collingwood by 11, kicking to the right of screen in this second quarter, which is against the elements here at the moment. Free kick Sydney here at halfback. Richards. So Teddy Richards has been dynamic this year for Sydney. One of the reasons why they sit aloft on top of the ladder at the moment. Quick kick out of the pack there by Parker. Now Maxwell.
The other match-up early in this quarter was Jared Wellingham was on Jared McVeigh. McVeigh's the player they need to get going. The Swans only had the 2 handballs in that first quarter.
Seedsman did well against Goods then. He was a little lucky because he didn't take the ball cleanly, and he just tried with the one claw, and now Goods, magnificent pickup, but all over him with the tackle was Maxwell. Great support from the skipper there. Wellingham's got an outside runner in for Solo. Reece Shaw able to cut that off. Little handball in there by Johnson. McVeigh now. Nice ball. Roberts-Thompson.
Yeah, he's the man, McVeigh. His last 5 weeks been outstanding for the Swans. Such a consistent player over the years, but hasn't been able to get into it early tonight.
Haven't been inside 50 other than this occasion for about 15 minutes, Sydney. Now, Harry O'Brien, he was involved in that controversy last weekend with Milne, and Wellingham did well over the top.
You know what Collingwood are doing really well, and that's forcing Sydney at the moment just to kick long to a contest down the line. They're normally great at hitting the lead up and getting free, but put a lot of work in. They aren't able to go back through the corridor because Collingwood have got those options covered, as we see Daisy Thomas on the bike, just trying to get some blood going through that cork fight.
Look at the way Collingwood have spread the defenders here and give themselves any one of one-on-ones. Fasolo couldn't break the Jetta tackle there. It was a really, really good one. Kick comes back in the Reed direction. Nudged under the ball by Parker. Harry O'Brien gets around Parker. Little chiseler. Found Fasolo. O'Brien again, this time gets around O'Keefe. Goes with his non-preferred side without great direction. Shaw, did he pay the mark? Umpire said no. Richards forced a handball very promptly to Johnson, and out of jail Sydney momentarily.
Well, that's the other issue they've got at the moment, Sydney, is that they just haven't got an ability to get through centre half forward. Goods is trying to play that role forward, but at the moment he looks really out of sorts. Ben Reid on top. He's just had the one possession coming up for his second now.
Real one-on-one game of chess going on here at the moment. This is better. And Dennis Lane has taken the mark.
defence.
Well within range.
Much better way of doing it from Sydney there. They lower their eyes, use goods up, and as we said earlier, play on straight away from that position, and you can usually find your forwards in one-on-one situations. Much better way to attack against the Collingwood defence.
So Dennis Lane will line up, and I see Jeddah's come off with an arm problem, right arm problem, immediately has gone to the doctor as well. So that's not great news for Sydney. Dennis Lane from 30 metres out, basically directly in front, should convert it and does. So Sydney get the first goal here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that is a much better build-up for Sydney, having a target at centre forward and then getting through and then opening the space out behind. That's the role that they want Goods to play, and they need him just to get hold of the footy a little bit more. They've been very good, the Collingwood defence across half-back. They've blocked those options out. Just got an example then of when it works for Sydney, they can be exposed, the Magpie defence. So here's the build-up. Adam Goods for the Swans in that lead-up option. And, geez, that makes a difference when they're able to get a clear target through half-forward as Jeddah gets his arm looked at.
Doc Larkins, what do we know about that?
Yeah, right wrist, just saw over the bone on the outside of the wrist, Brian. They're just strapping him up. They'll worry about it later. He should be get back there.
Dennis Lane kicks the first goal of the second quarter. By the way, Richo thought that that was actually his name, Dennis Lane. For about 12 months, he thought it was Dennis Lane. It's Trent Dennis Lane. Richo, is that right? You were a bit uncertain?
Well, everyone was going Dennis Lane. I just thought that was his name, Dennis Lane. But then I realised there was a Trent in front of it. It's a good name, isn't it?
The hyphen.
Trent Dennis Lane.
So a rather benign opening to this game. I mean, it's tough and all of that sort of thing, and there's two good teams, but there's not much happening. It's a very stagnant game of footy here at the moment.
I think the two tactics are really coming into play, and that Sydney had it shut down in the first 10 minutes of the first quarter. He thought this is right on their terms. As we look at Jeddah's arm getting caught underneath there, and that's why he's got some issues at the moment. And then the Magpies are able to blow it away with their outside run. And now I reckon the arm wrestle's back on. Sydney have tried to shut it down again.
Great handball by Pendlebury onto Beams, down towards Tarrant. Beautiful knock away there on that occasion by Alex Johnson. Sinclair went and got it. Little left foot kick around the corner. Too much on it for Thomas, who tried to duck back under it. Good to see him out there.
Well, I reckon both teams have done well at shutting down the opposition's strength. Sydney love to win the ball back at half-back and then rebound from there. Pies have shut that down, and Collingwood, on the other hand, they love to play on through the middle and through the back end and come wider through the wings, and they've been able to shut that down also.
Looks like Thomas has gone on to try and give them something as a permanent forward now.
Yeah, not a bad option. I mean, to sub him out
pretty early,
so early in the game would just be, you know, a massive call. And if you can get him there, capable of
even get a quarter out of him.
Yeah, he can kick a couple of goals as a forward. He's so talented.
Chesky through the middle and misdirected kick, unusual for him. Normally very efficient by foot. Maxwell loves to kick it long. Here's Cloak, one-on-one. Shaw in front. Didn't do his best work on that occasion as the ball slipped through. Now he has a crack at ground level.
Yeah, the half-back line, you saw Maxwell uncontested. Sam Reid, the big injury out for the Sydney Swans. They are having some real issues at half-forward. Mike Pike, Lewis Roberts, Thompson are playing that role at the moment. And Reid, Nath Brown and Nick Maxwell are well on top.
Shaw. Dangerous centering ball here. Teddy Richards under all sorts of pressure, and he's won himself a free against Cloak. Good call by the umpire there. Richard plays on to Melchesky.
Not much to go to there in that overhead camera view. Collingwood had pressed up really well, and they're doing that well tonight.
Parker somehow out of trouble. Really quick handball by Jack to McVeigh. Now O'Keefe. Now a genuine one-on-one. Reid can't keep his feet. Mumford did. Goods can go all the way with a handball over the top to Roberts Thompson. He'll run in and kick his second goal. And Sydney are in front.
Yeah, that's the way to break it down, is that run and carry. It was a great kick from O'Keefe, who got the footy out the back, and contest from Roberts Thompson was good, and it was able to open it up, and Adam Goods finally finds a bit of space.
It's a good pickup by the Mummy for a ruckman at ground level. did his work and got the handball off to Goodsey. I thought he was going to have a shot, but Smart gave the Joe the Goose over to LRT.
Again, Sydney's ability to win crucial contests through the middle of the ground. Luke Parker's effort over here by the boundary line was just fantastic. Kept the ball in, eventually won it and got it out, and that way Sydney were able to transfer the ball down the ground fast into an open forward line.
Beautiful clearance by Hanbury. They go inside 50 again. Roberts Thompson the target. He's already kicked 2. Has never kicked a goal against the Pies before. Almost had his 3rd there. Handballs back to Kennedy from the standing start. Good position here. Bird did well, O'Brien.
It's a good story, Lewis Roberts Thompson. Probably played his first 150 games in defence, but turned himself into a bit of a makeshift forward this year. He's up to 18 goals now. He's goal a game, and he gives a really good contest.
Boys, sorry to jump in there, but Dale Thomas has been subbed out. Alan Didak, of course, is the man who's been subbed on, but Thomas has just put the red vest on.
Big call, that one, isn't it? Massive moment in this game now to lose Dale Thomas.
Gives Didak an opportunity early, though. Maybe
it's a great like-for-like replacement, isn't it, with the magic and the skill there.
So Didak in. There's the vest on Thomas. Doc Larkins, what do you reckon this is going to mean in weeks for Thomas?
Oh, look, I think they're getting ready for next week, Brian. They'll take him down, get him into the ice compression sleeve and start his rehab as of now.
OK, so the sub is on and Didak is out there.
He'll just have ice strapped to that leg for the next 3 or 4 days. Dale Thomas.
The sub being announced on the public address system here.
The only positive is that you get game time into Alan Didak.
Absolutely, and he does need that. This is his last crack at senior footy this year. He's really got it to put it together over the next couple of weeks if he wants to be involved in this finals campaign. Just build a little bit week by week. Kennedy deep into attack. Marty Clark is beautiful left foot kick around the corner to side bottom.
And you can see the run and spread. This is where Collingwood are dangerous when they get the outside runners. Sinclair's worked hard to get hold of this one.
Didak presents short. He ignores that and goes to Tarrant. Kick wasn't great, and in the end Richards did enough to get it over the line.
Mick Moldhouse talked about Collingwood's spread before the game in the pre-game show in his regular segment. He hasn't got much wrong this year, Mick. He's been pretty good.
Minute with Mick. He loves doing it. A master tactician that he is. For Solo. Attacking the ball. Richards, don't argue. Just bullies his way through the middle. Long ball. Ross Thompson did well. Reid over the back. And the free will go Collingwood's way.
Yeah, lucky there, Roberts Thompson. It was a legging decision. It was probably there, but I love the way he's so disciplined, Roberts Thompson, and he just did everything he could to bring that footy to ground, and was unlucky not to have an opportunity there for Dennis Lane to score.
No score for the Pies in 25 minutes of footy here. Been all Sydney, kicked both goals in the quarter, and short ball to Tarrant. 75 metres from their goal. It's just chip, very little fluency. Kick over the head, looking for Wellingham. Goods did well with the spoil. Off hands, Tuvey. Shaw barges through. That's Reece Shaw. And we'll be happy to find the boundary here. Let's go down to Dr. Peter Larkins on Darren Jolly. Don't tell me there's another one, Doc.
Well, there's concerns with Darren Jolly. First minute of this quarter, Brian, the physios went out to him. He's now sitting. They just had a word with the doc, and they're planning a special treatment at half-time for him, I gather.
Hey, Doc, I saw him get smashed from behind. Mumford crashed the pack, and he got up slowly. He looked at the trainer and shook his head. He ran around for a while, and you're all over it, Doc. He has got some issues, definitely.
Special treatment, I think, means in layman's terms a jab.
Some sort of pain relief, you would think, Bristle.
I would have thought the instant pain relief is the way to go. We haven't got time for the Codral to work, Das, in a game of footy. Players converge, so the injury's mounting up, and Maxwell's not good there either.
They're two crucial ones, because once your sub's gone, Didak's in. If they lost Jolly out of the game, I reckon it's game over, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, I just don't think they can compete. It forced Dawes into the ruck, it exposes their forward line, and let's hope Jolly can get through the game, because that'll be hard to recover from there.
Now, the umpire down the field has paid the tunnelling kick here. It was a late decision for Reid. He felt he got the legs taken from under him. Probably the correct decision, not having seen it on replay just yet, but I think the umpire's pretty right there, Rosebery.
Gee, both teams have been good at stopping that switch tonight. Teams love to switch it to the other side and try and get a runner, but they've just been shut down every time. Both teams have.
Nathan Brown goes out wide looking for Elliott.
You can really see as Darren Jolly stands up, and that's great news for the game's sake and for Collingwood's sake as well. He's a real warrior, that man. Great competitor, and he'll fight out with every last breath that he's got. But you just see the two contrasts in style. Sydney really trying to slow it down. They love this contested situation. The Pies are trying to really run hard and spread hard.
Didak with a little soccer off the ground. Wellingham, little right foot banana inside out. Did well here. Teddy Richards has done well. Look at Bird put his head over the ball and just go and get it. It was good stuff.
Gee, that was a good pickup.
Jetta in front of Tuvey. Sure, he got around him as well. Brilliant stuff from Jetta. What a great kick as well, to the advantage here of McVeigh. McVeigh in the pocket. The right foot banana along the ground. Hit the stump of the post.
That individual effort back there from Lewis Jetta, Richo. You just pay your admittance fee. Look at that smashing. And he's about 115 kilos, Mumford. You feel every bit of that.
He's already taken Daisy out of the game, and the big mummy, if he hits you, you're going to stay hit.
Wellingham.
How are those two bits of play? Bird's pick up and Jetta's ability just to take the play on at the wing. Nearly got that goal down the other end for McVeigh.
Solo, Pendlebury, side bottom, all playing nicely together. Now Seedsman with a withering outside run onto Didak on his favoured left side. Got it in a good position to Jolly, a little heavy on the kick, but it was nicely done, and a minor score there, first for some time.
Got involved. Didak had a couple of touches already. Be good for his confidence.
There's Scotty Pendlebury on screen there. He's just had the 7 disposals, and they're going to need an enormous game from now on from Pendlebury. Thomas is out. Dane Swan, we know, is going to miss 2 weeks. So a lot of the load goes to Pendlebury. He just hasn't been able to have his normal impact so far in this game.
Reid comes to meet the ball and sends it forward bound again this time. A couple of Collingwood players, one of those is Elliott. Able to pick it up, gives it to Pendlebury around the body. Again, Richards in front. Plenty of numbers here for Sydney. Grundy, nicely done. Sydney out of defence. Hanbury, beautiful kick to O'Keefe. Magnificent foot past that. These little blonde guys that play for Sydney do that so well. Bit of a whack in the cheek there for Brown, and that may well be a free kick against. It is. That silly one.
That's stupidity from Shaw. Had nothing to gain. Look at Nathan Buckley's face. It's just poor discipline.
So Roberts-Thompson goes deep. Getting a run at it. Couldn't quite get hold of it over the back. On that occasion, Parker. And Dennis Lane sees it through. A little bit of a whack here for Nathan Brown.
You love the enthusiasm of Heath Shaw. He just wants to be involved in everything, but he had to know that was going to be a free kick.
I think he saw LRT's boot sort of go onto Brown's stomach there, and he came in to remonstrate, but the umpire was right there, and it was just silly.
Malcheski off his hand. So Sydney have a golden opportunity now with the injury situation here to capitalise on that. Just see the accidental foot, Roberts-Thompson there. I didn't think there was much in that.
Nothing in it, but Heath Shaw probably thought that, that there was, and came in to try and help his teammate, but cost a free kick.
Side bottom. Blair attacks this and got it with a bit of space. He wanted run and support from Wellingham. He came a little late, and in the end, the kick was over-creative. Now Richards on the counter-attack. Hanbury demands the ball and gets it, albeit at his feet. Now the centering kick. Maxwell.
Well played.
Charging run, but he did not take the ball with him. This leads O'Keefe. Gives it off to Matner. Reid gets in the way of it at half-back.
It's got a tweak. Gareth Olver thinks the Swans are missing Sam Reid. He reckons their forward structure is out of whack.
Yeah, I agree with him, Rich. I think he probably would have matched up on his brother at certain stages, and And when Collingwood have got on top, it has been their ability to win at half-back. Maxwell, Reid, and it's been Pike and Lewis Roberts-Thompson, not that real class and contested mark that Sam Reid provides.
Off hands, Kennedy, magnificent in roving the pack. O'Keefe, beautiful little kept in play action onto Jack, and now McVeigh to the advantage of Jetta. O'Brien did well.
Yeah, did really well. It's going to be a tough night inside 50 for both teams. Only 3 marks inside 50 for each team so far tonight, and we're not far away from half-time, and both defences are on top. You're going to have to find other ways to score goals, like stoppages, like this one here.
Jolly didn't take the ball. Beams, Kennedy, now O'Brien took him on. Must get rid of it successfully if you take him on, and he did. Blair with a little shimmy, a double shimmy, didn't make contact with a boot. Great tackle, Jack. From all reports, would be leading their best and fairest this year. This man, Jack, goes across the ground. Goods had it knocked away for Solo. Had to go and get it. Boy, I reckon he dropped that. He did. Kennedy will get an opportunity.
The forward pressure for Sydney in this last patch has been fantastic, and it was the period that got Collingwood in the game as well when they kept it in their forward half. But it was a dangerous kick, because if they were able to win this Collingwood, they were out the other way from half back. But brilliant tackle from Kennedy.
Couldn't take a mark, but good forward pressure gets Josh Kennedy a shot at goal. That's obviously another way to score.
Looking for their 3rd consecutive goal of the quarter. It is from directly in front. Kennedy just sends it in magnificently. Sydney by 9 points.
But all the Swans in this second quarter, they were trailing at quarter time and just been able to get on top in a lot of areas. We're talking about their forward 50 pressure. And that has gone to another level so far at the start of the second quarter. And Josh Kennedy, what a gun he is. Kicks goals, the #1 clearance player in the competition.
Well, there's probably the Swans' best and fairest. Look at the Swans' forward line there. They've got Mike Pike deep, but LRT just came back on. Probably not really recognised strong power forwards there. They're just there to give a contest and bring it to ground.
So Sydney, little mini run here. McGlynn over the back. Goods. He'll get it and give himself a chance with Clark pressuring. Didn't go for home. Great centering ball. Dennis Lane. Gee, that was a good mark by Nathan Brown.
Yeah, so that's where Mike Pike, as a key forward, your job is obviously to take marks, but if you can't take a mark, you cannot be outmarked by the defender. You must bring it to ground for your small forwards.
Swans out to their biggest lead here at the moment at 9 points. The Pies led by as much as 12 in the first quarter. Here's Didak with another touch. In fact, ball almost went out of bounds. Part of it did, but all of the ball must be out of play. Now Jolly, centering ball without a lot of thought. Tarrant's got to come over the top. Very nearly grabbed it. Handball to Cloak. Cloak and Malcheski did really well. Now Hanbury. Smith is there. Had to get rid of it in the end. Help arise for the Pies, but look at the red and white jumpers around this. Hanbury was fierce at the ball. Little kick by Beams. I think it's a goal. It is.
Oh, what a gun. Dane Beams, most improved player in the competition for mine, and there's been plenty this year, but he's the one that's really stood out. 18 disposals now, kicking a goal every single game that he plays in. 21 goals now for the season. 6 clearances tonight. He's just doing it all. 11 contested possessions. He's just got a really well-rounded game. The Pies would be wrapped with him.
Dane Beams scores this goal on the back of some brilliant forward run. He's so good at it. I watched him run from almost half back. He was out of breath, but he still got himself to the contest and rewarded with an important goal for the Pies just before half-time.
Jetta. Sneaky handball. Shaw's got this covered at the back with a punch off hands. Bird. Blair went hard. Dennis Lane. Handball. Parker. His man had run past it, or the handball was behind. Now Dawes did well at the ground level to keep it alive. Jolly stretching. Now in comes for Solo. Got it to Dawes from behind. Still had the strength to work it forward over the top of Elliott. Now they get back in some numbers here. Alex Johnson. Last line of defence. It's a 2-on-1 though. Side bottom went high. McVeigh splits them here at the moment. Side bottom and Pendlebury in the end. Pulled the kick at the last moment. Reckon he should have gone with it. Didak and Collingwood just momentarily out of trouble here at the moment. Side bottom just sends it long once again without great direction. Players collide. Picked up by Didak. Would this be a return? Would this be a return? Didak goals. Look at his teammates get around him. Welcome back, Alan Didak.
Oh, they've come from everywhere. Look at that. That is a great moment in this game. Substituted on Didak. It's his opportunity to try and get back into the side. I reckon 15 players have run the length of the ground. Brilliant sidestep. That's what's been his trademark, Richo, for a decade. Yeah. Kicks a ripping goal and his teammates are up and about. Well,
when you see his teammates come to him, they know that it's been a tough year for Alan Didak, but that's what he does best. He's got that low centre of gravity. He can get out of tight situations. He broke a tackle, then still had the ability to finish off, kicks the goal when he had pressure coming onto him. That's why he's been such a good player, and his teammates love having him out there.
Tweet through from Buddy Franklin. He wants to know who is faster, Cyril Rioli or that man on screen before, Lewis Jetta.
Oh, gee.
Well, I want an answer out of you two.
Let's get a promoter and we'll organise it.
Be a good match race.
I reckon Buddy would be able to organise a promoter and organise anything, Buddy.
Dawes. Got it all covered, you reckon, Richo? Big mummy.
Everything covered.
Trips over his own feet. Sinclair heard a yell out the back and handball at the end. No one home. Now Beams, high ball. Cloak's got the city. He should mark this. And he does. Deep in the pocket. It favours his left side.
Having an outstanding year, Heath Grundy as a defender, but Travis Cloak is just such a massive unit. We know he's got his issues form-wise, but I get the feeling he would just love some one-on-one opportunities on Grundy. I think he's got the strength to monster him tonight.
Now the wind sort of pushing away from the goals here, I think, although it may be protected underneath the stand at that end. So a difficult kick for Cloak.
But what does he do normally, Gristle? You're the goal-kicking man.
I'm not sure. I think he's a little left to right. But that one has just gone the other way a little.
Tough pocket there.
Really tough kick. Everything working against him. Well, who is quicker? It's surely Jetta. Is Jetta quicker, but Rioli's reflexes and sideways movement is...
I reckon over 100 I'd back Jetta. I reckon the first 40 I'd back Rioli. Hey, jump on board. We're interactive. We'll get a bit of a poll by the end of the night.
He's got a bit of a slither going, Cyril, hasn't he? He's very evasive. Sydney now under enormous pressure. Roberts Thompson, clever tap on. Hanbury, one hand, McGlynn not good enough. Roberts Thompson rammed into the turf by the Pies. Tackle from the skipper.
It's been a good end to this quarter by Collingwood. Living up to expectations this game. Everyone's been looking forward to it.
And this game is absolutely perfect training leading into finals time. You've got a really low-scoring, highly defensive game, often like finals are. You almost have to invent goals. Scrappy goals out of contest is the way you get those crucial goals come final time. So both these teams will be loving this contest.
Special half-time guest, Sam Reid, coming up shortly. Pike. Blair was in there. No winner. O'Keefe just put his head down and tried to drive it out. Now Beams. A fierce give to Clark. Kept alive by side bottom Pike.
Now it's time to just put your hand up and say, apologise to Mike Pike.
No, just not yet, Das. We'll just wait.
He's the worst player in the history of the game.
See what he achieves. I'm not sure I said that, did I? Little handball to McGlynn. McGlynn sets up. Hanbury goes back. Left footer, remember. Dennis Lane caught. Clark's got him. Collingwood worry them out of it. Parker's gone as well in the Didak tackle.
That is outstanding. Nathan Buckley at half-time. You mentioned that. There was about 4 tackles in there. I thought that was a certain goal. I thought McGlynn was out. That was desperate by the Collingwood defenders.
Collingwood have kicked the last 2 of this quarter after Sydney kicked the first 3 of it.
If you look at teams that have had wins against other teams currently in the top 8, these 2 have had 5 each. They're the best in the comp if you look at it that way. The winner tonight will clearly be the best.
Roberts Thompson almost got it again. Maxwell did well to defend. Gee, Roberts Thompson's been dangerous down there. Now that is a deliberate out of bounds, says the umpire. And he's been pinged there. Said Maxwell had no other intention. Boy, if there hasn't been a focus on that from the umpires, I'll go he. In comes Reid over the top with a big thump, and a minor score will bring the Swans within 3 points. So just the 12 seconds remain here. You think that Sydney are the only ones that can possibly score from this situation, and it will need to be a mistake like that that does it. Wellingham tackled, he got rid of the handball. Now, is it deliberate? The umpire said no. For one moment, I thought he was going to say yes. To the relief of Buckley, no. And John Longmire about to head down to the rooms. As we expected this game, less than a goal in it. Team 1 versus Team 3 as it stands on the ladder at the moment. Siren sounds. And a very, very good contest indeed. Collingwood 5-4-34, leading Sydney 4-7-31 here at the moment. So a nice job by both sides, as we can see. The umpires just explaining to Mumford something there. Matthew Nichols very good at that. Cameron Ling's down there with Scott Pendlebury.
Well, Scotty, as expected, just a really hard, scrap, defensive game of footy.
Yeah, it is. It's really tight, contested. It's just going to come down to who's going to work harder for longer.
Are you expecting that in the second half it's going to continue in that way, or do you think it'll break open?
I hope it keeps going like that. It's great playing in that sort of footy.
Thanks for your time, mate.
Scott Pendlebury down there with Cameron Ling. Collingwood by 3 points here at the moment. A very exciting game indeed. It is very low scoring on the other side of the break. It'll be the Sydney Swans centre half forward. The man that's out injured, Sam Reid, will join Luke Darcy and Matthew Richardson. Stay with us as they head to the rooms. Collingwood 5-4-34, Sydney 4-7-31. On a Saturday evening. Get it underway to start the second half. Collingwood by 3 points. Great shot at ANZ Stadium here. Kennedy in the middle gets the first extraction, although Blair made him earn it a second time. Goods can find a little more here as well. Matner skies one high. Almost stamped Kennedy there. Now Roberts Thompson, an unlikely hero up forward, but he's shaping as that. Mike Pike did well to kick the ball while lying on the ground. Around the body, Kennedy had to be strong. Sinclair was good as well. Here's Jetta. Goods. Hold under it nicely. Left foot around the corner. Didn't get enough of it.
Yeah. Adam Goods may have had the opportunity to handball that one off instead of having a snap on his left foot. Easy to say from up here. The pressure on the players down there is enormous, but he did have a teammate to his left then.
So you're saying he should have handballed off?
Yeah,
Richard?
I am. I'm saying it in a roundabout way.
Just say it if you can.
All right. Sorry about that, BT. You're the boss.
You sitting on the perimeter piping there. Here is Beams over the line, out of bounds. And
it is a lot easier, the game up here, though, isn't it? Like,
well, I know you're the most likeable man in Australia, but sometimes you've just got to call it as it is, Richo.
He's reeling for a bigger barn marriage, taking the title down there at Tigerland, Richo. Hey, I just can't stop watching Josh Kennedy's work around the contest here. The number 1 clearance player in the game. Keep an eye on how good he is going in the second half.
Great handball from Didak, sets this one up as Dawes and Richards go inside 50. Teddy Richards, marvellous job against the bigger Dawes, and Sydney out of trouble momentarily here with Jack. Decides he wants to switch the play and finds Johnson.
it was a good switch because Shaw can play on now, and they may be able to go the full length here.
Triple run, quadruple bounce there from Shaw, working the ball up to half forward, and that's over the boundary line. Got to be by a metre. No whistle. Dennis Lane allowed to go. Sinclair was there as well. Boy, I reckon that was out by a fair way. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Bit of byplay back there on the Shepherd. It was Alex Johnson who applied a Shepherd here on Chris Dawes. Look, Chris Dawes pulls his mouth guard out and throws it back at the head of Alex Johnson. He was so annoyed at the contact.
And then he got interchanged, Chris Dawes. His mouth guard was still out there. One of the trainers had to go and pick it up.
So just didn't have enough time to get all of that replay in there, as Jolly has the ball at halfback. Didn't want to miss the live action. Here's for Solo at halfback.
Got them locked right in here, the Sydney Swans. It'll be hard to get out of this one.
For Solo goes to a 3-on-1 really there. Never in that, the Pies.
He didn't have any other option other than to go long, but you just need to try and force it to ground in that situation.
Or at least put it to the side where Travis Cloke can complete. Cloke also has to stand and deliver a bit. He was trying to lead up and get it with some movement. Needed to bring that one to ground.
Gee, every time you see Kennedy play, as you mentioned, you just wonder how. I mean, I know it was early and it suited Sydney, but how, even with the pedigree, they could let him go. But he's turned into a fantastic player. Richards.
I guess there was a fair competition for spots in that Hawthorn midfield at the time.
Absolutely. But if you can come up here and win a best and fairest, you can probably get a game in any side. Mumford. Jetta from directly in front, around the body. Good ball. Got it deep. Roberts Thompson couldn't quite make it work, but very nearly did.
It's called hindsight, BT.
Just got to love that about Darren Jolly there on the line. He's had his ribs caved in tonight. You can see the pain he's in, grimacing, but he just always commits his body. Saved the goal there, was out of position. Brilliant play.
Yeah, it is hindsight, Richo. We do a lot of predicting as well, though. There's Roberts Thompson.
Big Mummy there searching for a free kick. Thought he caught one high contact. Nothing doing.
Marty Clark there. I reckon his game's right on the edge at the moment about whether he retains his position. Just depends who they've got available. So he needs to have a big second half here for Solo. Maxwell sprayed that one. This will give a chance to Johnson, I think.
Look, he didn't have an option there, Maxie. He just had to get it onto his boot quickly. Unfortunately, the side of his boot. But this, the forward press of Sydney, just has them locked right in here.
Just repeating the news if you just joined us. Dale Thomas subbed out of the game in the second quarter. Didak, the sub, came on to replace him. Johnson's kick into the square. And a diving mark forward has been taken. It looks like big Mike Pike. Oh, boy. Wowee. Mike Pike.
What an athletic, smart bit of play from the big Canadian.
He tripped over.
Who read it better than anyone else, Bristol. Time you apologised, he'll go back and slot this.
Oh, Mike Pike, I do apologise. That is very nice play from the big boy.
Oh, disciplined play by the Sydney Swans. Low percentage kick to have a shot from the boundary line out there, and it was put to the top of the goal square. And big Mike Pike fell into a chest mark. You don't often fall into a chest mark in the goal square. It's just a great kick to the top of the square, and the big Canadian just put a goal through.
So 3-point Sydney lead.
Pretty big call to describe this man as the worst player ever for you, Brian. Given there's been more than 12,100 AFL players.
I don't think I said
He
that.
is a great story sometimes in life. You've just got to say sorry, Brian.
I think I said he was struggling.
The worst ever, quote unquote. Great stuff from Mike Pike.
Nice goal. Sydney now by 3 points here. Collingwood have virtually not had the ball at their end at all this quarter.
If we're going to be serious, though, that it just shows you what the Sydney Swans, they just get players up here and develop them. They've been doing it for years, and they've done it with Mike Pike. He's had a really solid year supporting Mummy in the ruck and going forward. Doing his job beautifully, BT.
Oh, yes. Nick Mike Pike, I guess he had to come good after a few years in the elite system.
Good shot of one-on-ones all over the ground here. You can see Nick Maxwell always, who's at the bottom of your screen there. He's got his man LRT, but he's always looking at how can I get back and help out? How can I zone off and take an uncontested mark? But genuine one-on-ones everywhere on this ground.
Got to say, it's an incredibly ugly game, despite the fact that it is one-on-one football, which is something we all like to see.
But as Lingy said before, it's more like a finals type intensity, Lingy.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, come finals times, that it is going to be that one-on-one footy. There's going to be no easy ball out there. And as I said, it's great practice. So you can't get this sort of intensity at training, so you may as well do it tonight.
Wellingham, I thought he had the pants of Matner there. No free awarded. Eventually they get one and that's out of bounds on the full. Jetta. Lewis Jetta will get the free at half-back. No sign of rain here in this quarter. Just yet, Mike Pike flies off hands O'Keefe. Handball wide, McVeigh. Beat O'Brien with a ripping handball to Kennedy. Kenny nurses the ball around the corner, looking for Roberts-Thompson, and Maxwell happy to see him and the ball over the line.
Yeah, Roberts-Thompson had a good one-on-one with Nick Maxwell there, 15 metres out, and Kennedy on his left foot just couldn't get it quite to the one-on-one. He had a height advantage there. He might have been able to mark that ball with a better kick. Came his way.
O'Keefe. Centering ball, play on, not the required journey. And out of bounds on the full, the umpire is saying here.
Down the full.
Out the full. That was a punch off his hands. I'm not sure that that decision is correct.
Hold here. Wait there. Wait for the call.
If it is, it was deflected, but big call. O'Keefe
doesn't suit O'Keefe quite as much here.
Plays on, kicks around the body and does it magnificently and professionally for Sydney.
I look forward to having a look at this one again, because Scotty Pendlebury, he was absolutely spewing about that decision. Couldn't believe it had been called out of bounds, and I reckon that's a half a wry smile there from Ryan O'Keefe as he jogs back into the centre. That's what the Magpie fans think about it.
Sydney consecutive goals. Now let's have a look at this. Ball was knocked down. Can someone tell me how that's out of bounds on the full?
Well, unless he
a metre in.
Unless he toe poked it, I'm not sure. But
it bounced off the ground and no one touched it. That's just a shocker.
We're all confused. I think the Collingwood players...
I don't think there's any confusion. The umpires just had a howler.
Got it wrong. Side bottom. Out of the middle. Consecutive goals for Sydney. Sparks the Pies here. Elliott to Didak. Didak, degree of difficulty around the body was high. In there is Matner. To centre half forward for a rare opportunity in this quarter for the Pies. Look at this. Magnificent work from Johnson. The soccer off the ground. Maxwell. Centre half back to Didak. Didak hurried handball into Pendlebury. Pendlebury now goes to Cloak in the one-on-one. Cloak did well. Couldn't quite hang on to it though. Here's Grundy. Worried out of it by Blair. Little handball to Wellingham. Able to straighten. Listen the angle. The responding goal for the Pies. Sherrod Wellingham.
Oh, good response by the Pies, and Sherrod Wellingham is having one of his better games for the season. It's been really lively tonight. 19 disposals, and thought through that really well. Was straightening up onto his right leg, had pressure coming onto it, was smart enough to come inboard and snap around his body, and set up well by Travis Cloak. Good second effort from ground level. Not having a big night, Cloak, but goal assist his way there. Yeah, nice feed out there by Travis Cloak. Good second effort. Well done, Wellingham. Good finish. I thought he was going to kick the drop punt. Had pressure, came inboard and snapped it around his body. Having a good night, Sherrod.
Very clean player, isn't he? Really does it without fuss. And nicely done by Wellingham. Sydney now go back into attack, trying to steal one back. Now Harry O'Brien, did he take him on? Umpire said ball was pinned if he did.
Let's have another look here. Does he get a toe poke on this ball? It may have clipped his boot. It may have clipped it, BT.
Oh, gee, that's a tough one, but inconclusive, so we'll give the benefit of the doubt. Richo, you're obviously angling for that way, and I'm not sure whether you realise your career's over and you don't need Brownlow votes anymore. As Elliott tries to take it over the line. Kennedy there, just keeping it alive. Seedsman ran out with him. Now that's out of bounds, and we'll throw it in.
Last goal was via Sherrod Wellingham. Dane Boom's getting involved. As we look at the Sydney fans, and that is really important for them. Just on the back of Dale Thomas being substituted out, they really need those second-tier players really to step up.
Hannanbury had to go. Reid didn't want it to bounce. Dropped the mark. Maxwell hovering. Umpire says stuck in there. And he said Scott Jeffrey, he was trying to get it out. Fair enough. Maxwell barking instructions to his teammates there. Pike trying to move. Jolly under the ball, off the hands. Goods around the corner in typical Goods fashion. Unbelievable Adam Goods goal.
That's why he's a superstar of the game, Adam Goods. He's had a really quiet night tonight. He's looked out of sorts. He actually fumbled a little bit at times, but he's an out-and-out gun, and you just have to always be mindful of him, because that's what he'll do. Give him 1 millimetre of space, and he's able to just to kick a ripping goal.
That's the thing with class players. They can have an off night, but they can bob up at any opportunity and win it for you. Let's just have a look at this stoppage here, and there's Ben Reid behind Adam Goods. Just lost touch on him, and when you're as good as Adam Goods, you must keep touch on him at all times around a stoppage.
Just a half a second loss of concentration by Reid, who's normally really good at it, and that was enough.
Seedsman with the clearance, has Dawes. He ran straight past it, but Richards did not. Elliott's little kick over the line out of bounds. Let's go down to Doc Larkins.
Yeah, Sherrod Wellingham just sitting on the bench. Brian just having some treatment. He got a knock just on the outside of his knee, and he limped through. They've just had a big check of him. It's surely just probably a bit of a cork again for another Pies cork.
So that's 4 players that have had some sort of medical issue for Collingwood in this game.
Shows
wanting to find reasons for them, because Wellingham will come back on.
Shows you the concentration levels required to play AFL footy. When you're playing on someone like Adam Goods, you lapse for half a second and he does something like that.
Beans trying to back out with the ball, eventually got it out. Tuvey with a nice tip and shoulder. Blair ran into the brick ball that is Bird.
Tuvey's come up with a cork here as well. You can see limping away. A hard contested game, this one. You put your head in to one of those 50-50 contests and you're going to feel some pain.
Jolly knockdown for Solo. His caught. Now he makes the attempt. The umpire deems it legitimate.
Das, you mentioned the hard contested game. It's always the way. Whenever you played Sydney, no matter if you beat them by 100 points, whatever it was, you always walked off the ground very, very sore and had a lot of ice packs in the change rooms.
The way this has been played, Lingy, you're confident it's going to be a goal or 2 in it at the end?
Absolutely. This is a good, close struggle. And again, come back to the fact it's great practice for finals.
Absolutely. O'Keefe to Parker. Followed up his own work, O'Keefe. Got to stand under it, Kennedy. For Solo bearing down. Both made a real legitimate and courageous attempt to mark the ball. In the end, Kennedy won out. Parker going long to Jeddah.
Some slick hands there, Richo. I don't know, it was amazing. I think Parker might have had the bit of the basketball throw around the back, but they got through some pressure there.
It was great hands, but it was great pressure too. You kept thinking one more handball and they're out, but Collingwood's pressure never allowed them to get that opportunity to get out into space, and it's the story of the night so far.
O'Keefe having another really good night as well. Here's McVeigh. Fast hands. Smith, Pendlebury worrying them. Mumford did well with the big body and presence. McVeigh skied one. Kennedy comes over the back. Great mark. Over the top of beams. Now, is he within his capabilities here?
Just outside, I think, BT.
Handballs off to Jeddah. Jeddah winds up from 55 off a step. Long ball into the square. Shaw of the Heath variety sees it through for a behind.
BT, you compare that kick there that Jeddah just sent in right to the goal line. It's actually quite easy to defend. If you can knock it over the boundary line, Sydney might cause a turnover. Free kick.
So you'd rather have it 20 metres shorter?
Compare that to the Johnson kick that went into Mike Pike earlier on. Just that 10 or 20 metres off the kick allows the Sydney forwards to come at the ball, and it's a more dangerous kick into the forward line.
Lingy down there on the boundary. Here is Maxwell drawing handball to O'Brien. O'Brien at half-back needs to be precise. Dawes comes at it. Hands. Not all that good on that occasion. I reckon that sort of grab he should take.
Just got a tweet here from Daniel Turton. He goes, what do you make of Travis Cloke's performance so far tonight? Well, it is an extremely tough night for key forwards. Because of that pressure through the midfield, there's no clean ball coming inside 50. That ball then that just came to Travis bounced 3 metres in front of him. I think he's working hard, but it's a tough night out there for forwards. 1 goal, 4 touches for him.
Here he goes. Here he is. Almost pinged here for incorrect disposal.
Look, it has been a tough night for forwards, but he's horribly out of form, Richo. There's no other way to say it. There's been opportunities one-on-one where when he's going well, he just finds a way to mark it. He finds a way to bring it to ground and get the ball himself front and centre. And we're keeping a close eye on him. He's just body language, his demeanour. He looks down. He looks like a player who doesn't feel as though he's going to play well.
Mumford got the run inside. Jack can go all the way. A bounce. Now steadies. Missed badly.
Gee, you're not going to get many opportunities like that tonight, running into open goals. Kieran Jack, he normally nails those, but yeah, I think you got a good point, Darcy. Normally his work rate gets him those uncontested marks, but it's not a night where you're going to be able to get out and take uncontested marks, and in the past his contested markings kept him in it.
Cloak and Jolly both flying for the mark there. Had to get rid of it, Elliott. Somehow intercepted it, gave it to Wellingham, was always wrapped up by Malcheski. Ball going nowhere here. And no win there. Fantastic footy.
BT hit the nail right on the head there. This might not look pretty, but this is fantastic quality contested footy. I'm absolutely loving it down here. Both teams, you can see they're enjoying it. Type of players that love this kind of game.
Starting to rise, Lingy, with this style of footy.
Doesn't he get excited when it comes finals time?
The uglier it is, he just loves it, Lingy. He's all over it. Here's Kennedy. Mongrel inside. Maxwell will get there. Can he stop it going over? No, he can't.
Just wanted to quickly show you an example of where I reckon Travis Clinton. Have a look. Here he is in the top of your screen on the kick-in. Now, he just tentatively goes after that. When he's up and running, he would have smashed that pack open. They would have split everywhere. He might have marked it. He just doesn't look as though he's got that same vigour about the contest.
I agree with that, and probably another example there where he would have backed back in firmly, and as a result, a sliding mark has been taken here by Bird.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit frustrated too. He knows he would have normally wrapped up that chest mark then. He had it in the right position. He normally would have taken that. Just when you're out of form, they don't stick.
This is very much in the sights of Bird here. From right on 50, distance not a problem. It boils down to accuracy. It's a goal. They've kicked 4 in the third quarter.
The game, it's very close like this one. A 3-goal break is a pretty handy break, and that's a good goal. But I like the work of Mike Pike on the goal line this occasion. He did a heap of work shepherding this ball through from Craig Bird, and just a little bit of a clap for Mike Pike there again, BT's man. He had a significant part to play in that goal, shepherding on the goal line.
Biggest lead of the game as Bird goals here. Starting to rain again as well. 17-point lead it is with Sydney. Conditions worsening, but you just get the feeling another passing shower on offer here. Seedsman and Dennis Lane there. Jolly got it to Clark. One-on-ones everywhere you look. Malcheski desperate to win the loose ball. It was really well done. Through traffic, Bird, who kicked that last goal around the corner. So without Bolton or Sam Reid tonight, Sydney still look very capable. Pendlebury, handball to Turvey, put him under the pump. Clark, a little gimme kick out there, went wide, and Shaw with a bit of a prayer over the top. Couldn't keep it alive, Blair.
Hey, Lingy, Dane Beams, 20 disposals at half-time, but he's only had the 4 handballs this quarter. They've all been contested. He's just not finding any ball at the moment.
No, he's one who's suffering. There's just no space. He's been fantastic tonight, though. What I've liked is he's tried to step up in the absence of Dane Swan. We know how good a player Swan is. But Beams is trying to step up and lead this Collingwood midfield. It's probably a great test for him. If he can get Collingwood over the line with the statement that the Pies made during the week to suspend Swan, it would be a great step up for his leadership.
BT, you mentioned one-on-one contests everywhere, but it just feels like all the important one-on-ones are being won by Sydney at the moment.
Absolutely it does. Now that's a mark that's been paid to Cloak there. Grundy saying he had a hand on it. I guess you pay those in that contest, don't you? That's clear and clean mark.
That is very, very good contested mark, and if he didn't mark it, he probably had a right to ask for a free kick too for over the shoulder.
Huge kick here for Collingwood. Cloak from 30 does not let the Pies down. Back within 11 points.
That is just what that man needed. A contested mark, a accurate shot for goal. And let's hope that just changes. It looks as though he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders at the moment. Yep. Travis Cloke, and sometimes you just need one to go your way, and all of a sudden you're back, your body language is back, and the footy starts falling your way a little bit more. Well done, good effort.
Well, this game's going to go to the line, tonight, BT, and he's not having a great night. We've just been talking about him, Travis Cloke, but we know how good he is at taking contested marks, and in games like this where it's tight, he may take a contested mark late in this game and win it for them. He's just got to keep getting involved in marking contests.
14 goals at ANZ for Travis Cloke, most by a non-Swan at ANZ Stadium, so he's done pretty well there. They do play on this ground, of course, every year. Sure, Mark. So 11-point lead now. It is interesting. 2 goal to 4 quarter in favour of the Swans, yet only an 11-point margin. Swan takes them on, gives it back to the left-footed Melcheski. Goes long and deep, and Pike was able to get a fist on it, knock it at the boundary. Plenty of work being done down there tonight. Maxwell a little sore in the hip as well. Some very direct massage going on that point there.
Yeah, he looked a bit sore, Maxie.
Saw him out there before. He looked a little hobbly, and he doesn't come off the ground a lot, Richo, as part of the normal rotation, so it is unusual to see him there. High ball, in it comes. Goods is there. Bird again, wearing that famous number 14, of course. Skilton and Kelly. Big number in the Swans' history. Elliott. Didak, little flick around the corner. Picked up by Grundy, belts the ball back in defence. Pike was there, couldn't get it. Goods, the little tap to Bird, confronted by side bottom. Kick out to Roberts-Thompson. Oh boy, he tried to turn Reid around. Lewis Roberts-Thompson, who would have ever thought that would be possible as we go down to Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, just some maintenance work. Nick Maxwell getting some pressure point work just over the front of the left hip flexor there. He'll be right, and also Pendle's a bit tight in the back getting some work. They're both okay, Brian.
Dawes. Now Didak. Didak's a very good user. Tarrant should come at him. He didn't. He went long. Cloke's got the body position. They get back and outnumber, and it was really well done by both Shaw and Grundy there.
That entry and coast-to-coast effort, all on the back of Still side bottom, who Scott Pendlebury rated the other week as the best gut runner he has ever seen. And
oh, really?
You just got to keep your eye on him. He just glides across the turf. And when others get tired, he just still finds a way to keep finding space.
Sinclair went and got it, gave it to Fasolo. Fasolo around the corner, very capable of these. He's got it. Pies within a goal.
Oh, great goal, Alex Fasolo. Out of nothing. Pretty handy quarter. It's his first goal for the night. We've seen a couple of those goals out of stoppages tonight. It's been a hard night to find goals on the lead or from marks, and it's a really, really good finish from Alex Fasolo.
So Fasolo kicks the goal, and 4.5 minutes remaining in the term. Collingwood now down by just a goal after moments ago Sydney led by 17.
Well, the Swans defenders just got sucked into that contest there, and Fasolo read it well and stayed out. Gave him the time needed to finish.
Heaps riding on this as far as top 4 opportunities go, and even top 2 opportunities. Seedsman doing well to work it down the ground. Gee, that's magnificent play. That was a 100-metre play there. He worked it 30, 40 along the ground, kicked it another 30 or 40, probably doesn't add up to 100, and you're probably going to pick me up there, Das, but there was a bit of a run in between.
About 30 short, I think.
The run was 30.
We know where you're trying to go.
The old Dougie Hawkins. He's a 100-metre player. He kicks at 70 and runs at 20.
Hey, Dane Swan's on the tweet tonight. I believe he's here somewhere in the stadium, and he's just sent through to us. It's a pleasure to sit and watch my mate Alan Didak again. The great man is back. Wouldn't mind being out there too. And I have a feeling the Collingwood fans wouldn't mind you being out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely for Swan. And Didak has shown some glimpses here tonight. And
Well, he's had 12 touches. He's done well. It's been a good comeback.
here's Kennedy. O'Keefe through centre half back. Really good at this play. It boils down to a one-on-one. Guess who? Mike Pike. Oh, boy. Off the ground, Dennis Lane. Harry O'Brien ran over the top of it as well. In they come, almost a free to Sydney's. Mumford there, not paid. McLean drives Clark forward.
Good tackle, neither of those in the back.
Just no time out there at all. The ball is hot. Whenever you get it, you're going to be tackled straight away. There he is, Didak. Ned Kelly playing on him tonight. Look at that. That's a great bid.
Alan Didak. Tuvey, who got a bit of a knock early as well. Now Malcheski been pretty impressive again here tonight. He's a vitally important player to Sydney off that half-back line. Nick Malcheski. I know 4 or 5 years ago when Sydney were ultra competitive back there, winning premierships and playing finals, that he was the most feared player at Collingwood, was Malcheski, the one they put the most work into. Former teammates having a chat there.
Yep. Obviously had those issues with knee reconstruction and the Lars surgery, Malcheski, but I feel as though he's got himself back in a really top-class form.
Looked like he was almost gone at one stage last year, I reckon.
Yeah, agree with that.
So, important 3 minutes here, late in the third quarter. Just a goal in it. It's been pretty well that way all night. In the odd little skirmish where teams have got out by 2 to 3 goals. Pendlebury. Did he and could he get rid of it? The umpire said no, it's pinned.
Got himself right back into the game in this quarter, Pendlebury, Richo, but it's just getting caught a little more than he normally does. He's up to 19 disposals. They really have put some work into this man.
Good tap on there by Pendlebury to Beams, and I think he kicked that ball when he was already out of bounds, and I think that's an incorrect decision. I reckon he was already out of bounds.
It looked like he was, didn't it? He's played on.
The field umpire asked the umpire, was he already out? Now, I'm sure he was already out of bounds when he made contact with that by the boot. A couple of baffling decisions here tonight. Goods in front, couldn't hold the mark. Crunching tackle. Parker were able to escape with the ball. Maxwell. Sinclair there in support. Maxwell just kicks it long. Down to 2 minutes in the quarter. Well done, Grundy. Knock of the arms by Cloak.
Grundy out, push out 5.
Grundy out the back door. To the run here of Reece Shaw. Kick wide, looking forward, not finding Johnson. So Collingwood lock it in at their half of the ground. Have a look at that.
Kieran Jack there walking past Dane Beams, and a little boot to the hand, and
It was a metre out of play when he kicked that.
Yeah, it looked to be wrong, didn't it?
might have been an accidental stomp on the hand as well. I think I'll give Kieran Jack the benefit of the doubt there.
Beams from the penalty handball. Colgate smothered Jack, who's up to 20 possessions in this game already. One of the leading possession getters on the ground.
Just saw the Swans there. They get it into when Grundy got that free kick or took the mark and gave it to Heath Shaw. He tried to switch it out the other side. Both teams have been so good at blocking up the exits on the other side of the ground, and that's why there's just no free-flowing play tonight. It's just a real hard slog. It's an intriguing battle, though.
5 tackles for Jack as well. Jolly and Pike for Solo through the real heavy traffic. It does that so well. Gee, he straightened the kick up nicely as well and offhand. So Collingwood with 1:16 remaining in the third quarter.
Just one thing that's happening at the moment is Collingwood are getting an extra player at the clearances, and Matner's dropping off to be the loose player, and they're plus 13 in the clearances, so they're really conceding a lot of these to Collingwood, the Swans, and freeing up Matner.
Off hands, Pendlebury, little left foot, found a gap and missed. So 5-point margin, in fact out of bounds on the full, so it'll remain at 6 points.
In a game as tight as this, expecting the last quarter, the real class quality players to be the difference in the end. blokes like Pendlebury and Beams and then Lewis Jetta for Sydney, they're the ones who can break the game open with a bit of class, a bit of polish and a bit of speed, change the game.
Sinclair to Beams, 35 out, Beams set it sail, I think he's got it. Scores the level with under a minute remaining in the third quarter.
He's a jet, Dave Beams. He's turned himself into one of the elite midfielders in the game. Second goal, 28 disposals. He runs hard forward of the play, and this is no accident. He's a brilliant finisher. Look at that, set himself to kick it, and a massive goal just before three-quarter time.
And Lingy's got a little bit of wobble about him down there. He just mentioned Beams to crack it open, and right on cue, Lingy.
Thank you very much, Dane Beams. I appreciate your help there.
Great finish.
So all tied up. By the way, just off the top of my head, Das, I don't think any game this year has been level at three-quarter time, and this one is currently looking like it might be. It's just off the top of my head. Kick goes forward. Opportunity here for Johnson of Sydney to kick it out wide, and that's out of bounds on the full, so 35 seconds remain in the half here. Unbelievably, Sydney led by 17 points 13 minutes ago. 20-minute mark of this quarter, and now scores are level off hands of O'Keefe, and 55 metres around from the Collingwood goal is Buckley, and Hart, one of the assistant coaches, former Adelaide star Robert Harvey, another footballing superstar.
Well, Collingwood have won the clearances by 10 this quarter, and that's just too much. They've got to tidy that up at three-quarter time, the Swans. If that happens in the last quarter, Collingwood will win the game.
Matner back inside, going to ground. Reid, Goods over the top. Here's the wee man McGlynn, the little man. 100 games for him. Now the big man, Roberts Thompson, already got a couple. And guess what? Scores aren't going to be level at three-quarter time.
He's actually got a few tricks now, Lewis Roberts Thompson. I don't know where they've emerged from. Pirouetting away from Ben Reid before and paddling to himself, running towards goal. A great year, playing a big role for them.
Well, that'll be it. Three-quarter time, here it is. Sydney by 1 point. Stay with us. Cracking game here. Sydney 8-11-59. Lead Collingwood 9-4-58.
Great shot that. It's actually been able to isolate this defence at times, and when they do that, Collingwood look really dangerous. When it gets back into that tight contested scrap, it favours the Swans.
Well, Collingwood have won their last 9 games on the road. Will it come to an end in this one here? Can Sydney get hold of them in this last quarter? Official crowd here today, 45,827. Biggest Sydney crowd that the Sydney Swans have pulled this year, so it's a good result for them, keeping in mind that SCG is under construction at the moment.
So once again, watching this arm wrestle here where all the exits are closed. Defensive pressure's good, got to go down the line.
Mumford looking just a little uncoordinated there. Allows Reid to run on the ball, and the mark is taken by Blair.
What did he find this moment there, Big Mummy? And he often cringes a ruckman occasionally when that happens. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He actually thought the mark had been paid. He was going back to take his kick. Ben Reid all over it. Big turnover this to start the last quarter.
Absolutely it is. Blair, well within range, has gone back, is having a real good look at this one. Swirly conditions out there at the moment. You can see the kick that he's got to conquer. In he comes, looks pretty good. I think it's there. Collingwood in front early in the last quarter.
Yeah, brilliant effort from Reid. Lots of Collingwood fans have travelled up to ANZ Stadium tonight as John Longmire sits back in his chair. Very composed individual, Horse Longmire, but he'll know how massive this is. Just about lock away a top 1 or 2 spot with this one, Richard.
If you can go a game clear with 3 games to go, get those home finals, crucial contests.
So Blair enjoying that goal, and Collingwood all of a sudden hit the front by 5 points. By the way, Sydney have won 9 games in a row, the first time they've done that since the 1930s. And they are heading for the minor premiership of the home and away season, of course, and been a while since they have achieved that feat. Looking for win number 16 here tonight. Their most in a season is 16 and a half back in 1996 when they were runners up to North Melbourne. So 16th win on offer for Sydney here tonight. An outstanding year for them with some games in hand. Big Mike Pike has given Maxi a bit of a corky as well to go on with. Kick out the back door. Sydney respond. Cross goal. Goods. Opportunity. Grabs. Can he get around one? Little kick back inside. Just got upended as he went to kick that ball then. Put him off balance. Tuvey now. Down the line to Dawes and Richards. Richards did well to bring to ground. The recovery from Dawes, but the handball I thought was never on. Now Johnson's got to outsmart Tarrant. Happy with the line. There's Tony Armstrong, the sub for the Sydney Swans. That's warming up. He was brought into the side tonight when Andreas Everett was a late withdrawal, but that looks like it's been activated down there, Lingy.
Yes, it has, and give me 2 seconds, please, BT, because I'm trying to work out who the man is who's been. It's Dennis Lane.
Yeah, Dennis Lane out, substituted. Good stuff. Lingy Armstrong is going to come on, and it's just got the makings of something special here tonight. When you look at the Collingwood story, they get rid of Dane Swan for 2 weeks for an internal disciplinary action. It's a big call for a club to make. Then they lose Dale Thomas, who's probably one of their best 3 players in the second quarter, early substituted out. You're away, you're interstate, you're playing against the top of the ladder side. If you find a way to win tonight, it has got massive, massive positive energy for the Pies with a few games to go in the year.
Well, the Pies have kicked the last 4 goals of this games after Sydney led by 17 points in the third quarter.
Let alone what it means on the ladder for Collingwood as well.
Well, is it a matter of whoever wins it as premiership favourites in this game, do you think, Das, or it's not that simple?
Throw Hawthorn into the mix as well, BT, but top 4 just about guaranteed. You can lock that away if Sydney win it. And Collingwood, they don't want to go back down into the pack with a few big games to go. They've got a tough run home.
I reckon the winner here deserves to be premiership favourite because they'll have won more games against teams currently sitting in the 8. They're 5-all at the moment. Collingwood or the Swans win tonight, they go alone on 6, and they're beating the big teams, so that means you're the best team, I reckon.
They can put a gap between them and third, can't they? Sydney, by winning here tonight, which will...
And BT, the huge part about it is if it's Sydney and Adelaide who finish 1 and 2, obviously they get home finals. Collingwood, if they can get up into that 1 or 2 spot, they get the home finals in Melbourne. It makes a huge difference. First round of finals plus preliminary final week.
Absolutely it does. The Wellingham tackle a little high on Kennedy early there, not paid. McVeigh trying to back out with the ball, and you just get the feeling that it's going to get hotter and hotter the closer this game gets to the finish line.
Attention in the coach's box. Let's look at the live ladder here, and that is including Collingwood winning because they're in front, obviously, at the moment. They go up into third position. They put a gap between the Hawks, and they get back into the opportunity to go past Sydney and the Adelaide Crows.
Kennedy out of the pack. Had a shot and missed. Very, very close as it took a bit of the timber work.
20 contested possessions, 8 clearances, disposal number 31 for Josh Kennedy.
No loose players either. No, it's one-on-one all over the ground at the moment.
Pendlebury just tricked the Swans players into believing he was going up the middle when he was always going to Harry O'Brien. Now this kick needs to be good for Solo. Strong overhead, good jukes out in front. That's how you do it.
He has got great hands for a medium to small marking player. He is
the Fizz,
or the
Faz,
call him.
whichever one you want, depending on whether they win or lose, I guess, and whether he plays good or not.
Crucial mark in that position there of the ground. If he had to drop that, we're in a lot of trouble, the Pies.
Seedsman Dawes getting sticky fingers at the right time as Chris Dawes.
Got to go now to Cloak. He's 1 out.
He does that, takes your advice, but getting back there was Mattner to compete in the air. Sinclair gave it around the side to Elliott. Taken over the line by Jeddah.
I'm watching my mate Richo here just about jump out of his chair because he can see that unfolding 30 seconds before. It was just a bit slow from Dawes. So you want that fanatical play on. And it just that half a second got Mattner the opportunity to get back, and that's enough to make it impossible for Cloak to take the mark.
Kick back around the corner. Here is Heath Shaw. O'Keefe got in the way. Been another good game from him. Maxwell and Roberts Thompson hold each other. Clark got bowled over. fierce tackle by Parker. Really impressive tackle. And he had a second bite at Clark. Nicely done by Luke Parker.
That's why it's important when you get marks 60, 70, 80 metres out that you can get someone coming past for a handball receive, because it gets the ball in there a lot quicker. You don't have to wait to go back behind your mark and kick the footy. Not always possible, especially in a tight game like this, but that's the desired result.
Sydney looking for their 10th consecutive win, trail by 4 points at the moment.
Back 2 metres.
Early stages of the second quarter. Heath Shaw goes down the line looking for Cloak. Plenty of defenders there. Sinclair again, but caught in the tackle. Elliott to Didak, nailed from behind by Armstrong. Did he tape him forward? The umpire said no. Cloak got one in the back from his own man there. And now Armstrong with the clearing kick under pressure kicks it straight to Reid. Reid wide to Heath Shaw. Heath Shaw invited to play on by Wellingham, who was looking for the Shepherd on the mark. Ignores that. That kick's not good. Beat Cloak. Now Blair's got to go at it. Armstrong did well. Peeling handball. Out of the loop, Sydney. Kennedy. Didak from behind. 2 on 1. There's O'Brien. Gathers and runs. Down the line. Nice grab by Bird.
It's just a time Sydney's forward structure has fallen apart a bit, particularly through centre forward, where Reid, in particular, here he goes again. He's just been able to get himself, Richo, in the right spots. They're not kicking the ball well enough to get through that part of the ground again.
They've got to get it one-on-one down there. The last 3 times they've gone forward, Reid's marked it twice, and O'Brien's mopped up a loose ball. They've got to get one-on-ones down there.
Goalless for 24 minutes here, Sydney.
And Richo, they were able to do that earlier on in the game by lowering their eyes, hitting up that short option and quickly playing on from there. It drew the Collingwood defenders out and then get it over the line and kick into a one-on-one contest. At the moment, they're just blazing it away in long, and Reid and Maxwell and that are reading the footy.
The reigning premiership captain, Cameron Ling there. Jack was tackled perfectly by Beams. Clark almost threw it to Pendlebury. Pendlebury in a bit of space. Here goes Grundy. Had to meet the ball. No choice for Solo. Just bounces off his teammate. Kick around the corner. Goes deep over the head of Tarrant. Richards first to recover. He's pursued by Tarrant in the pocket, and he did the right thing, and he disguised that magnificently. Teddy Richards.
Darren Glass got paid one of those last night. Exactly the same sort of thing against Darren Glass.
You're saying that should have been paid, Richard?
No, I don't. But there was one paid like that to Darren Glass last night.
Just wondered for a minute what you were saying there as Dawes' kick was smothered. Over the line, so Collingwood at their end of the ground now. 13 minutes, lots and lots of time, no problem there. Collingwood by 4 points. Crowd tonight just a tick over 45,000. Dawes going through. I'm not sure he disposed of that correctly. Clark to Beams. Upended as he kicked it. Looking for Sinclair deep and punch away. Now this will be interesting. Umpire says throw it in. The defensive punch, Richo.
I'll tell you what, there's been a little change of interpretation today.
Overnight, you reckon?
I saw one of those paid as well.
I'm glad they have, because you've got to be able to defend as a defender.
Oh, certainly. I'm not.
Yeah, I understand
saying that,
you're saying, but they mucked it up Friday night. I'm glad they've got it right here tonight, because it's a great game. We don't want it ruined by
Parker under pressure to Melcheski. Mumford under the ball there. Here's Brown. Got Maxwell supporting him with a Shepherd, but they went the other way. He zigged when he should have zagged. And they ended up getting tangled up. Sydney a real opportunity here. Still free is McGlynn.
He's got to get it moving.
Roberts-Thompson goes that direction. Here's McGlynn. Punched away from him by side bottom.
Once again, Richard, I've been all over it. Just the still side bottom. Again, they were out everywhere, and his ability to run both ways hard makes him such a valuable player. He got back and defended that one.
Plenty of Collingwood fans up here. Lots of Sydney fans. McGlynn again. Was he tackled too high? Handball out. Parker bounces off. Kennedy gives it to the Melcheski left footer. Went back on the right. Didn't get it done. Now Blair. His kick was smothered. The Swans really tightening the screws here. Parker with a high ball. Goods is under it. Couldn't hold the mark. Soccer. And a free will go Collingwood's way, I think.
Pay kicking in danger against Adam Goods, yeah.
Unusual one to pay.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be that violent, but umpire right on the spot.
unusual decision to pay. Beams. Down very close to the line. Off hands Kennedy to Armstrong. Inside 50. Banana bending. 3-point lead for Collingwood.
The sub Armstrong, he's been able to get involved, came on early in the quarter, he's been able to get 3 touches. Got to get involved as the sub. Should have more run than any other player on the ground.
Well, he is impressive at that skill, running and delivering. So we'll watch with interest what he can give. Collingwood sub Didact came on in the second quarter, of course, when Thomas was taken off injured. A corky for him.
There's Travis Cloak, who's having a spell on the interchange at the moment. He's just had 5 possessions again tonight. Kicked a couple of goals, but Heath Grundy has absolutely had the better of that contest.
Okay, leave it there. Leave it there.
That's the Sydney forward setup.
See, you can see Harry O'Brien running back towards the goal square. He'll be loose.
Off hands, McGlynn. O'Keefe got the clearing kick, kicked it wide. Here's Reid, but he's on his wrong side. And there it is, the right foot helicopter with a bit of gyro in it. Wasn't great, was it?
Wait for the call, wait for the call.
Eventually, you will be forced to kick with your non-preferred foot at some stage. Amazing how many people escape having to do it. Kick is good from Jack to McGlynn now.
Who's not without a chance here, BT. He's a powerful kick. He has a look inside, but I don't know if he sets himself.
That's what Lingy wanted. They lowered their eyes then to Benny McGlynn.
Game 100 for McGlynn. From outside 50, searching for the journey, yanked it left as they all do. When just a bit short on it.
Just get a feeling here. It's locked in, but Collingwood can get one of those long kick-ins and get it out the back.
Haven't kicked the goal since the 20-minute mark of the third quarter, Sydney. And in between, Collingwood have kicked 4. Heath Shaw goes very wide. Looking for Elliott. Cloak over the back, waited. Elliott spinning out of the goods. Bump. Cloak caught with the ball, eventually got rid of it. Maxwell trying to take it towards the boundary. Successful in the end.
Seen a lot of teams going for those long kicks down the middle this year to try and get over the back of the press and the zone. Collingwood generally don't do it. Still the #1 boundary line team in the competition, and that's what they do most times.
In fact, since the start of the year, they've gone back to that way a little more, haven't they?
Yeah.
Kick into the middle of the ground. Dawes, a reaching mark. Now he's got Tarrant one out. You wanted him to move it quickly, Richo. He goes there, but once again he was too slow. Grundy able to get off his man and help. Melcheski to Grundy. Kick is very good to Mumford. Inside handball. The runner's on for Kennedy. A hammering ball in the Roberts-Thompson direction. Reid and O'Brien tangle. Roberts-Thompson keeps his feet near the boundary line. Reid wanted to go out, couldn't quite get it.
Got to do something about Reid, BT. He's absolutely just getting involved in everything. He's had 20 possessions, but he's setting up so well. Roberts-Thompson's trying to create a 2-on-1. He's just so smart at reading it. Adam Goods goes back, and I've got to get a better contest on Ben Reid.
Well, Mattner's back loose, and so is O'Brien. It's going to be really, really tough to score.
Off hands, Kennedy. So efficient at the clearances into the Roberts-Thompson direction. O'Brien with a little kick off. Now Dawes has got the break on his man here, but here comes Richards now. Pushes Dawes out of the way. Turning circle wasn't great for Dawes. It was for Richards. On to Kennedy. Why did he go back there? He must have heard someone Seedsman mark. I thought the shot at goal may have been the go.
Well, since quarter time, there's only been 3 marks inside 50 for each team. It's near on impossible to mark in there tonight.
Didac plays on. Beams under some pressure. Now on his favoured left. Look at this. 3-on-1. Smith wins out for Sydney. Going to boil down to a mistake, this one. Here's Armstrong, the sub. Boy out of Assumption College.
They're having to go laterally here because they look up and there are a heap of numbers across half-back. The Collingwood defence have organised themselves beautifully.
Good kick to Goods. Presented strongly.
The big mummy's drifted forward. Jolly's gone with him.
Gio O'Keefe supplied a good lead, or Jack it was, that was ignored.
Oh, shocking kick.
Absolute shocker. Down the throat of Pendlebury. He can do very little, though. Goes to Dawes, doesn't let him down. Now side bottom's broken loose here. It's a spearing kick over the top. Goods has got the chase. Oh, he did really well. He just bowled over side bottom. Magnificent stuff from Adam Goods. Really good. Armstrong caught. They'll pay advantage. Didak, little pass. Cloak on the leader's marked. Brilliant tackle.
Oh, a couple of massive plays there. You called it brilliantly. Goods' effort first off was magnificent. And then the Collingwood chaser, who came from behind, his name escapes me now. Here it is. It was Tuvi. Brilliant effort. Look at that on Armstrong. Sensational, desperate tackle. Sets up this for Travis Cloak, who could be the hero, having only had 5 possessions.
For an 8-point Collingwood lead. Well within his range. He has been kicking well in recent weeks. Kick on the way is a little to his left. And a miss there as Chris comes from the ground under escort of the runner. Probably didn't want to come off, Goodsy.
Chris Dawes has been really good in this last quarter. He's taken 3 marks through that middle zone of the ground.
Blistering run from Reece Shaw. Kick wasn't good. Marked by Blair.
As Longmire having a pretty stern chat there with Adam Goods and some instructions on what he wants the champ to do.
Well, he was dragged. The runner went out and said, come on, come with me. I got someone on the phone for you. Here's Shaw of the Sydney variety. McVeigh now ran back into trouble. Sinclair's got him. Did he handball a kick at the umpire? Said play on. Pendlebury squirts it out the back door. Little kick, I think it was from Elliott. He's missed. Minor score.
Gee, that forward pressure's good at the moment. Jared McVeigh, he was in a world of hurt there. I don't know how he got a hand to that.
That's when they look at their best, Collingwood, when they are fanatical at keeping the footy in their own forward half of the ground. Reece Shaw takes another run here. It's been the way he's wanted to play it from full-back to Mike Pike.
35 minutes since Sydney's last goal. Bird kicked that. 3rd quarter. Collingwood wind up and go in the Fasolo direction again. Wanted to mark it on the chest. Gave Shaw an opportunity to punch it away. Marty Clark punched it inside 50. Teddy Richards. Jolly will come at him. Boundary line's a win for Ted and Jolly.
Oh, well done, Jolly. I thought Teddy Richards would have had a bit more mobility there to mop up, but he created a great contest, Jaron Jolly.
Big boundary throw in here. We tick into red time. 20-minute mark of the final quarter. Just under 6 remaining. Dawes to mark. I get the feeling a goal for either side here is on the ratio of scoring is going to get the job done.
Yeah, that's the impossible kick tonight. Inside 50 to find a marking forward. It's
a great shot there, Richo, as well, of just how hard it is to exit at the moment. Collingwood are really pressing hard. Oh, that was a dangerous ball.
Oh, McVeigh's out by a mile here.
He is. He's got 30 metres. Harry O'Brien's going to have to go. Had to go back and get at McVeigh. O'Keefe was there. He turned around. Now Jetta's the man. He's got wheels like no other. Does he take Tuvi on? He says, no, I can kick it. I don't need to run.
It's a good matchup because Tuvi is lightning too. Don't underestimate the speed. But he couldn't go with Jetta, but did well enough just to hold him back. He had to kick at 55.
When he marked that, he thought of nothing else but going back and having the shot at goal. He's confident.
Lewis Jetta for a 2-point Swan lead. Will have to blast it from 50 metres out. No problems with the journey, but just the accuracy. Collingwood by 3 points.
39 goals coming into tonight, Lewis Jetta. You remember that it was 17 behinds he kicked before his first goal in AFL football. And there's a chance for someone to make a name for themselves. 4.5 remaining. There might be one more goal left in it. That will be the winner.
I reckon there's one. I agree with you, Dars. I reckon there's a goal left in the game for either side. And that'll just about get it done. Stodgy defence from both mobs here tonight. Reece Shaw couldn't hold the mark. Out the back was Didak. Seedsman got to go. McGlynn went just that little bit harder. Blair's in there. So is Melcheski. Tough footy. Ball up. 55 out from Sydney's goal. 4 1/4 remaining.
Just looking inside 50 for the Swans there. Mike Pike's the deepest target.
Jolly and Mumford tangle, no free. McVeigh soccer. Roberts Thompson, the umpire, said not the required journey. Here's Kennedy, the dangerous Kennedy, got the handball back into Roberts Thompson. Goods is lurking dangerously. That's a throw. That's a throw by Collingwood, I reckon, and it's an Adam Goods free. O'Keefe wants it, and he questions the umpire. Goods wants it, and he takes off.
Hey, I love that. Both players want the footy desperately, and that's what your big guns do. And O'Keefe demonstrated, said, hey, don't give it to Goodsy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't reckon Goods, it was not what Goods' kick, it was, looks like Roberts Thompson's ball.
Either way, it was a definite throw.
Yep, absolutely. But Adam Goods quickly claims the kick. From 48 metres out, he has also tugged it way left, out of bounds on the full. Oh boy,
Gee.
Adam Goods.
He had that shot last year, remember, against the Bombers that Eddie had.
And missed after the siren. And when you put your hand up for one, you take responsibility and they even score.
Gee. Off hands, Cloak. Immediately got rid of it to Didak. Volleyball. Been watching the gymnastics. Over the top. Off hands, Richards. Shaw. Backside. Comes to boundary. So a little bit of hand stuff. And now O'Keefe, he's good with the ball. He's found space in the middle. This is good. Mumford's got it. It builds now. Collingwood by 3 points. Melcheski, Pike, couldn't mark. Off hands, Brown, missed it. Took it through for a rush behind. Collingwood by 2 points. 2 minutes 41 remaining.
He's sure signalling there, hey, I'm not going anywhere near the middle of the ground. I want to go wide. I want to take some time off. And that's what he does to himself, and long and wide.
Swans have the last 7 scores. They're all behind Stas. And I get the feeling whichever team can now move it to their forward end can almost handle the ball from here with the way the game's played tonight. Free kick will go the way of Tarrant.
Crowd don't like it, but it's smart play from Heath-Shaw, and a really good kick there from Wellingham. He put it in a dangerous position. Tarrant's been quiet, but they really want to hang on to it and take some time here.
Collingwood runner just went around the back of Tarrant, and they would be aware of the time clock now. Here's the 2 big boys, Dawes.
Hasn't he stood up in this last quarter and a bit? Chris Dawes really starting to get the big clunks going again.
Collingwood here. Go inside 50. Cloak's there, gets a run at it, off hands, over the back, picked up by Kennedy. He doesn't risk going the fat side, he brings it back to the traffic. Off hands, Jack, got it into Roberts Thompson, out the back door. Parker's got it, Sydney a chance here. They all run forward. Here comes McGlynn, good hands, not paid the mark. Clark with a handball back inside to O'Brien. We've got 1 minute 42 remaining. Didak, let side bottom go for it. In fact, it was Elliott. Off hands, Blair. Blair now goes a long ball, top of the square. Pendlebury's front and centre. Cloak's taken the mark. He runs. He plays on. I think that'll be the winning goal for Collingwood. Unbelievable stuff. Collingwood in front by 8 points with 1 minute 26 on the clock.
That's why you pay the big boys the big bucks, because in a finals-like game, he hasn't had a big night, but he's taken a contested mark and has more than likely won them the game. Travis Cloak, great kick, by the way, to the top of the square.
That's his 3rd goal, Richo. He's only had 10 disposals. But as you said, it's the big, strong, powerful units who can win your matches. Hasn't been a great night, but he has managed to find the one, BT, when they needed it.
2 Fridays ago, the Hawks led Geelong by about this margin with about this time on the clock. And here we are, Sydney, not without hope. There's time, and they're going to give it a go. Melcheski hammers the ball long. Goods behind post, so that's a good result for Sydney. 8 points. Need a goal very, very quickly. Obvious thing to say with 1 minute 14 left.
That kick was one Lingy was talking about. Just went a little bit too deep from Melcheski.
Haven't lost on the road for 10 games. Collingwood side. They travel again here, and they have beaten Sydney at this ground on the last 6 occasions. This will be number 7 if they get it over the line.
And they've beaten them the last 10 times all round, which is the longest streak any side has got over another in the AFL. And with a minute to go, looks like it's going to continue.
Hovering around the ball. Sydney need to do it now. This stoppage is their chance. They're in their forward half of the ground. They can stop the clock with a goal.
Don't underestimate how big this is for both sides. Collingwood, Dane Swan, internal suspension. Dale Thomas substituted out. This is going to be massive if they can hold on here, the Pies.
To stay in touch with the very, very top end of the ladder. Collingwood in control at the moment. Jetta around the corner, got it to Kennedy. Kennedy goes underground ball. McGlynn picks it up, turns around, shot at goal. He's kicked it. Sydney are back. Clock stops. 30 seconds left in the game. I told you this could happen. McGlynn's kicked it. Plenty of time for Sydney to win this. Their first goal since the 20-minute mark of the third quarter.
43 minutes it's taken them to kick that goal. Can they get another one within 30 seconds? The Magpies are going to pile everyone back into defence. Maxwell's trying to sort them out at the moment. They need a clearance. They need a mark inside 50.
Wow, this centre clearance is big time.
Collingwood still got 5 players ahead of the ball, 5 forwards. They're trying to scream now to get side bottom to come down.
And the Swans
are set up.
The Swans are rolling it around. It's all one-on-ones inside their forward 50.
Look at Maxwell telling Didak to come. Side bottom follows now. Boy, this is the big, big time here. 2-point ball game. 30 seconds left. Knocked down. Pendlebury with the clearance. If they can hit the pass here and find a mark, they'll win it. It goes into Dawes off hands. Boundary line. Need to be swift. 17 seconds. Out of bounds. I'm not sure Sydney can get home from here now.
Hit out there by Darren Jolly. Just got up over Mumford. Straight down Pendlebury's throat. That was great ruck work.
Absolutely, Lee. You just see the knee in the chest. And that is why they rate Darren Jolly so highly. He stood up big time then.
Boundary throw in, down to 10 seconds. Beams around the corner, puts the edge on it. Collingwood have won. Collingwood have won. There'll be 4 seconds to play out. But Collingwood have done enough in the end to beat the top side in the competition this year, the Sydney Swans.
Oh, what a great game. What a great centre clearance from the Pies, but what a great player Dane Beams is becoming. He just gets the job done. 34 touches, another 3 goals, Das. What a year.
Yeah, just a star of the competition now. Brilliant effort. And great to see Nathan Buckley. He went round, he gave Ben Hart a high five. He went across to Rodney Eade, Robert Harvey. He knows how massive this night has been for the Collingwood Football Club. He saw the celebration there, leant back in his chair. And they know with 4 seconds it's game over. What a magnificent night for the Pies.
Oh yeah, the Pies will win the 8-point game by 8 points. Unbelievable victory. Sydney have been defeated yet again on their home track. Collingwood by 8 points. Collingwood by 8 points. Cameron Ling is out in the middle and he's going to have a chat with Dane Beams. Go ahead, Lingy.
Yes, thanks, BT. Well, what a win. It was a hard-fought game all along, but you guys stuck it out. Must feel really good.
Yeah, we've been in some close games this year, mate, and thankfully enough we've been able to win them. So that's it. Full credit to this playing group, mate. We've sort of been written off a little bit this last week, and I suppose we stuck it up a few people.
Well, on that, it's got to be a really positive thing for the group. You made the stance, you suspended Dane Swan from the group for 2 weeks. The group stuck together well and had a fantastic win against the top side.
Yeah, as I said, it's been a big week publicity-wise for the club, and Swanee realises he made the wrong choice, and we can't wait to get him back into the side. And tonight was just a great win, and it was really hard fought. And you know, we always come up and play Sydney, and they always give us a hard, tough game, and that's what we wanted. So we put ourselves against the best, and we were able to come out with 4 points.
Well done tonight, mate. Great work.
So what a night here at ANZ Stadium. There's Rodney Eaves just going through with Nathan Buckley, how it all unfolded. Brilliant stuff. Let's get back down to ground level with Cameron Lee.
Yeah, Randy, we're just talking about how good a quality win that is against the top side. So hard fought. Must feel great.
Yeah, it is. It's probably pretty close to our best win this year, I reckon. You know, the boys fought out for the full 4 quarters, and it really came into this week. No one was going to be hard contested, and Sydney do that every week, and they're a great side.
And your own role, just patrolling across half-back, they're always influencing the contest. Was that a big focus coming into the game?
Well, I think as a whole back six, we just had to work together. We know, you know, they're pretty quick. They got Jetta and Benny McGlynn and those sort of guys. They're quick guys once they get on the run, so we sort of had to hold them up a bit, and I think the boys did that.
Well done, mate. Great effort.
Cheers, mate.
Cameron Lee down there with Ben Reid, who was enormous in this game across half-back, 20 disposals, and really was able to repel so many attacks. And you can see the look of despair for the Sydney players. They know how important it was. There's the live ladder now. Collingwood, they go to equal points with Sydney and Adelaide percentage, separating the top 3 sides. Hawthorn now a couple of games behind in 4th position on the ladder. And they continue this extraordinary run against the Sydney Swans up here at ANZ Stadium. It's their 7th victory in a row against Sydney at ANZ Stadium. Their 11th victory in a row. It's the biggest winning streak any side has going in the AFL at the moment. They have the wood on the Swans, and Nick Maxwell is exhausted, but they know that this is another massive night tonight. So the boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. What a game of football, befitting of a top-of-the-table clash with the Swans and the Magpies tonight, not just playing for 4 crucial premiership points, but also playing for this, the Lockett Coventry Cup, named after 2 of the greatest goal kickers in the history of this great game, Tony Lockett and Gordon Coventry. The Magpies running out winners tonight by 78 points to 70 to claim the Lockett Coventry Cup. Please welcome their captain, Nick Maxwell.
A big thank you to Sydney, another epic battle. Like always, you always know it's going to be a tough game coming here. A big thank you to all our supporters who come out and support us interstate. Thank you.
So the Lockett Coventry Cup.
Collingwood there winning the Lockett Coventry Cup.
2 of the greatest goal kickers in the history of the game. And a very happy Magpies group will make their way down. Brilliant crowd, in excess of 45,000 here tonight at ANZ Stadium. 45,827, and a lot of the black and white army have travelled up to Sydney as they make their way down towards the Collingwood cheer squad. And plenty of excited Collingwood fans here tonight. Look at the smiles. Big win interstate again. Have a look at the celebrations on the final siren. There's Alan Didak. He was substituted in early part of the 2nd quarter. Dale Thomas went off with a bad corky. Darren Jolly was enormous. As we get to the business end of the season, Dave Beams, how about his performance tonight? Continuing a remarkable season for that man. 34 disposals, 3 goals, 21 contested possessions. And didn't he step up when they needed him tonight? It's their 10th straight win on the road for Collingwood. And they have just reminded everyone in the competition that they are a massive chance still. Plenty of excitement. There's Daisy Thomas. He got a nasty cork. It was a strong tackle applied by Mike Pike. Dr. Peter Larkins will be all over the Dale Thomas injury. If you just joined us as well, Nick Revolt sustained a bad knee injury today in the game against Melbourne. We'll check with Doc in our post-show on all that as Nick Maxwell puts the fist in the air. And they celebrate tonight. Massive night for the Magpies. Lots of tweets coming through. Jackie says the Pies did well considering no Swan, no Thomas. A huge effort, well deserved. And I think Jackie has summed up tonight for the Collingwood Football Club, who made a big statement during the week when they decided to suspend arguably their best player, Dane Swan. And when you get the job done on the back of that, you get a double win. You send a strong message. And they get away with an important victory here and really push for an all-important top 2 spot. Rodney E and the coaching staff, look at the smile on Nathan Buckley's face. There is a lot of joy, there's a lot of emotion. A big interstate win has galvanised this football club tonight. And let's enjoy it. The Collingwood song, they're going to celebrate in style.